Hey everybody. Hey Kevin. We have a tiny screen today because I still have the keyboard in my room, the piano keyboard, which you can see here. And it's blocking the green screen and I just don't feel like getting that out today. So let's have a slightly different layout today. It is Monday and we still have Thursday stuff here because I kind of just stopped working last week. But I think the main schedule for today is going to be merge PRs and then do the Thursday tasks. And I'm hoping we get to coding. I don't know how many PRs there are. We're going to start the same way we always start, though, which is with tenants. So let's get to it. Nothing to it but to do it. All right, that is today. Tenant review. All right, sustainability. This one is up in the air. I thought everything was going fine. And then I didn't feel like doing work on Thursday or Friday. I think it's due to sleep problems more than anything else, since I don't feel like I was overworking. However, the weekend before those days, I was doing quite a lot in my personal life. We'll see how this week goes. If it's fine, then I think this could be more of a personal thing than a work thing. I cleaned my keyboard, by the way, so it should stop double typing everything. Hey, Xana's Ham too. How y'all doing? Yeah, no green screen. I've got some text there that's probably pretty hard to read, right around here. I just I'm just feeling a little lazy. The green screens that come down from the ceiling. This one is one that you just pull up from the floor. So it's not. I had one a while ago that was a large T stand, and you had to set up the stand, and you had to like clip the green screen to it. This is pretty easy. Just the problem is this room is not very big, and now that the piano is next to me, and I should just move the piano tonight. In fact, let me write that down. Because yeah, I'm gonna need the green screen for my short tomorrow anyway. In fact, I might even do this afternoon. I don't know, but I'll just write this Tuesday, move green screen, or move piano out of room. Hey, Paj. I agree. No professionalism. Going back to the old days, the no green screen days. All right, bricklaying. This was this is the same general thing I just wrote. It was going fine until Thursday. Then I ended up doing a music stream. I don't think there's a problem, so we'll keep an eye on that. Hang that one from the ceiling then. I had originally wanted to get a ceiling one, but the problem is right now the room is arranged. If you think about it, is you have like kind of three arrangements, right? One wall, the other wall, the other wall, and then probably not the door wall. I thought I might change walls at some point, and then I wouldn't want to re-anchor it to the ceiling. So yeah, I I now have this as the issue. But yeah, I'll move the piano out. Also, I we put that chair there pretty recently, and that was so that my wife could sit here and give me company if she ever wants to, but she hasn't really been using the chair. And also, the room it was in before was so that she could give me company. She wasn't using it there either. I don't think she wants to give me company. Celebrate the successes. I'm just gonna delete that. That's fine. I think that's when there's anything kind of major. Okay, so cool. Maybe it's the chair. She actually loves that chair. We got it from a friend, and she was like, "Oh man, this is great. I'm gonna sit in this all the time." And nope. Put the ceiling screen on a movable arm. I'll get an articulable robot, and the robot will just move to wherever I am. Not sit there and watch me code. Sit there and give me company. She could do her own thing. She could watch a TV show or something. That shirt is not great on camera. I just turn off the camera. 8,000. It's yeah, it's doing that shimmering effect. I thought it was a different shirt that did that. I feel like the new shirts that I bought are all problematic. But whatever. It's going to be a low cam kind of day. Okay, merge PRs. Let's go take a look. I think we've got a build up. Yes, we do. All right, we're going to start with the lowest number non-work in progress one, which looks like it's 830. Or maybe I should just do it by when it was last updated. They're probably not going to make too much of a difference what order I do them in. Also, this one should be incredibly fast, so I guess let's do that. Didn't you say she wanted to get into crochet? Yeah, she got into crocheting and knitting, and she's been going like full throttle on both of those. And yes, it would be easy for her to crochet or knit in that chair. For whatever reason, she's just like, I want to be in a different place. I'll talk to her about it. All right, skipping the next item ID. Let's go try this out. 832. GHPR, check out 832. Oh, I don't have Godot open. By the way, natural marketing of the game has kind of stopped, and now it's all marketing that I do. It's like there's no festival anymore. There's no random people who are filtering through. It's people who watch the stream or people who watch the videos I make. So yeah, I definitely have to keep up with the video creation. I was wondering if we should do some sort of like shorts planning on stream. Did I pull this? I did, yeah. So I should just be able to run this. Dead game. I'm hoping Next Fest does breathe a lot of life into it, but I'm also hoping that the shorts end up doing that beforehand. All right, so the bug we had earlier was just I click grant items, and a lot of times they could pop out of here. Now they are not popping out of there. So I think this is fixed. Let's try again. Now if anything pops out, it's something that can't stack. Yeah, that's fine. And then we allow stacking up to 3, and we click this again. And again, it's just stuff that couldn't stack. Yeah, cool. Okay, this looks like it's working. Good change. Thank you for fixing this. I'm really happy it was just one line of code. Cool. All right, 1 PR down. How many more to go? 6? I think 6. Yeah. Okay, what's the next one? We did 830. Next, 8. Where's 831? Must be an issue. 832 then, I guess. Oh, no, we just did that. No, we didn't do 830. Okay, right. I see. Let's go with this one next. Yeah. Okay, implement source generator for localized strings. Let's go try this out. Source generator for localized strings. Cool. It implements a source generator that generate methods. I think I read through this. Yeah, I responded to this. And then Kevin responded, and then I responded. And then I stopped responding, apparently. Don't work with the messages, since what we do is replace placeholders with values. Specifier would need to be applied before. Okay, I need to validate it dropping here so I don't forget. Maybe something like this for the specifier. Oh, we do the formatting before we call into the localization thing? I'm not sure if that's what's actually happening here. Let's take a look. Push some commits that address what I consider were the major pain points. We can now pass any object for formatting and use format specifiers. Different classes can have the same name. I also added test cases for format that validate the behavior. One odd thing I had to do here is allow passing an iFormat provider to the method so we can test it in the test. Otherwise, I fear the results would be different from your machine and mine, since I use the region formats from Spain. Also pushed a change that surfaces diagnostics when using invalid identifiers. Okay, let's take a look at this. No, I think it's worth reviewing this stuff now. I have this time dedicated to PRs. Otherwise, it becomes difficult to manage with everything else that's going on. That was weird. Hang on a second. What's going on here? Huh. Chat just like rearranged itself slightly. Maybe it's worth testing this out first. And then and then looking at the code? I don't know. I'll just look at the code first. Okay. What I'm debating on here is we're passing in a string. So if we do have format specifiers, we should probably have it pass in a long and then also pass in the money symbol. I really don't think it's a very big deal. But we could change that. Okay. Signpost is just an example. I didn't put much thought into it. Yeah. And also at that point, I don't think you had format specifiers. I don't think it was worth going back and changing it or anything. So it's not like it's a big problem. I just wonder if that's if we should set the precedent for when we're looking through other code to do also check attribute. I think we don't need to. This I definitely want gone before we merge this. Remove to do item from 830. I mean, I can just remove this myself and just write like no, that's fine. It's fine as long as there's no like major change you want to do. If it's just removing the comment, I can change it. Also, you can change it. It doesn't matter as long as we agree on it. Store reference. Okay. Just remove the comment, yeah. Actually, why am I writing this? I might as well just remove this from here. Okay. I looked through this already to make sure this is MIT licensed, and it is. So this should be fine. Anything else? Hello, Juan. How's it going? Okay, cool. So code-wise, I looked through this quickly. I think it looks good. What I had tested myself is I think I went into greeting and I changed some things around. So let's try this. We need to localized message. We need to do something like this. And if I recall correctly, wait a second. This. I should probably check this in first. Yeah, because this is going to affect what I'm doing here. Okay, let me do that, I think. Remove stale comment. This should be a pretty quick little visit over to this PR. 835. All right, we're working on 830. Looked up why generator diagnostics would stay surface after rebuilding. On my search, I came across this. Yeah, I think we just merged this. In fact, I didn't even need to check this out. But I guess we could try building. MS build. Owner. MS compile. All right, let's try building. I don't know why this would fail, but it's my due diligence. So yeah, there we go. All right. Hoping this fixes every problem we've ever had. Okay. So now we go back to 830. I just set it to the other line on laziness. That's fine. Although I am gonna write that inside the. I'm gonna write that inside here. Okay. All right, so back to this. Now I want to modify another file, and I want to get some localized messages in there. So we're going to have this be something like intro, and it'll say, hi, I'll tell you how your fishing pond works. We delete these. Now this couldn't be imported via quick fix last time, and it still can't be. And I just don't get why. Like, it's right here. Is this not an attribute that's inside I18N localized message generator? There should be an attribute. Here it is. Oh, because it's a generated thing. Oh. Right, so we don't actually have, yeah, interesting. Game source, yeah. It's all generated stuff. Does the attribute have to be generated though? We could try not generating it? Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. I think that would be a good change for the future, but I don't think it needs to be done in this PR. Unnecessary assignment of a value to CD. I'm just gonna leave that for right now. That's a good idea, Pige. Holy cow! Someone get this man a point. Yeah, I'm gonna file that as a follow up. I think. File follow up task to this to stop generating localized messages so that we can import it via quick fix in VS Code. Ruling with an iron fist here. The regime is working. All right, well, in the meantime, what we can do is we can just import this manually. And we're probably going to want something for that. Messages.intro. And there's a way of doing it. It's get intro. I forgot. I definitely forgot. Let's look at it. Not enough money. Get not enough money. Get intro. I think that should be how it works. And I think the real problem here is I didn't restart VS Code and probably have to. Or maybe this is just wrong. I don't know. Let's try building it or running it. I mean, yeah, it runs. We probably need to reload. Where'd this even come from? The Fisher? I can't imagine this not working over here. Yeah, it works. You rebase the other thing? No, I didn't. That would be the problem. I don't feel like rebasing that. Let's just go change this manually. Problem matcher in tasks.json. Okay, and now reload the whole window. And now let's go try that out. All right, so this is a greeting here. I want to put this in the other greeting file now. Let's put it over here. And I don't care about actually getting the correct message. We're just going to keep it the same. We're not checking this in, that's why. And then here we can say messages.getIntro. Nice, yeah, I think that worked. That's pretty good. And if I run this, there should be no problem, right? Yeah, although what I did not try, I guess I should make them be different. I am slime. I eat garbage. Thanks, AI. What a great auto-completion suggestion. All right, so you should say something about the fishing pond. Good. And you should say something about I am slime. Good. Yeah. All right, that's working. And then we try this one more time, which I don't think this would have any impact. Reading. Because I think because it's generated is what our problem was. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Looks like it's working pretty well. Let's go delete all these things. And we don't want to check that in. I think this is good. I think there's one thing I want to do. Oh, I didn't test with, hang on. I didn't test with parameters. There's a way in signpost to add a parameter, right? Yeah, like this. All right, we need this to be the intro. This is, let's say, cost string colon 0.0. And then we'll put in 4.2f here. Maybe I don't understand how the parameters match. Oh, did my monitor just turn on? What happened here? It's weird. Yeah, no, maybe I don't understand this. Text format. Yeah. Well, there are tests for this. I could just look at how the tests do this. It might just be a thing with using 0.0. We pass in the cost string. That's a string, though. Where's all the Juan stuff? Percent colon P1. I'm confused. He's human just like us. Oh, did I like lose my mind or something? I remember maybe you. It's probably clear through the clip. I'm not going to rewatch it right now, but there was like a make it rain command and you specified a number. And what I thought is that it would give everyone that number of points, but it gave everyone a random number from 0 to 1,000. So it was impossible to undo because there was no record of it. All right, I clearly don't understand how this works. Yeah. Colon D. I wonder what this is generating. Cost string colon D. Oh, I see. It's not even valid, right? The rest of this should look valid. Hey noob, how's it going? Yeah, back when I used Phantom Bot. I think I messed the generator. I didn't change the parameters to be objects there. Okay. All right, you know what then? I'm gonna say that I think this is mostly good, and I'll just leave the couple of comments in here. This is looking mostly good, and I appreciate all of the hard work. There are a couple of changes I think we should make. Mitch, welcome back. Happy 44. Miss the good old days when we didn't get to know that Adam lived somewhere, but instead only existed in a null state with nothing around him. JK, I like the extra chair. The good old days, you mean in the last like year? Because I was gonna say you've been watching for a while, so you've definitely seen the pre-green screen days, right? Actually, maybe you haven't. When did you start following? Oh yeah, you've been watching for long enough. Yeah. When did I get a green screen? Oh, it was only for Adam Learns stuff. Yeah. Which was 2020. Okay. Well, welcome to the non-null space. Okay, so one, we should stop generating localized messages so that VS Code will suggest importing it as a quick fix. And two, It doesn't seem like it's possible to use formatted messages, e.g. this. You said this about it. Okay. You've done different setups? I never mind either way. Yeah, no, I know. How's it going, Mitch? I don't have a green screen command, but I do have a specs command, and I think this lists the green screen in here somewhere. Yeah, there it is. Okay, so this is done. So which PRs do we still need to look at now? 833, 34, 36, and 37. 3, 4, 6, and 7. Okay, so let's go check that out. This, I guess we could just write it like this, huh? I don't need to go load up all those different tabs. 3, 4, 6, 7. Yep, good. Okay, cool. So let's close out of all that. So I did a whole new graphic for the battle map. All right, for those who have not seen this, this looks fantastic. First, I will show our current battle map. Here it is. This style was never meant to be kept. And the new one is this wonderful image. This fits the graphic style of the game so far. It looks amazing. Yeah. And I think as you unlock things, the paths show up. But we're going to need to look through this and clean some things up, I think. Actually, something I didn't think about. I know there's a lot. Yo, hey, Fluff. Thanks for the sub. Yeah, thank you. You were here on Friday. When were you there before Friday? A month ago. Okay, cool. Yeah, welcome in. Thanks for subbing. Is that the Lost Woods over there? Does kind of look like it. So what I was gonna say is there's some different visual effects going on here. There's like a slightly darker vertical line here and here, which means that we can't just make it a tile map. But I wonder if we should make it a tile map at first, and then put in all these custom graphics, and then put in the visual effect. I don't know. We'll have to see. The other thing is this is all going to show up inside of this panel, which is probably fine. I don't know. We'll need to take a look at that. Okay, so we need to delete the old graphics and any text references to them, e.g. for credits. Oh yeah, I gotta cut out of this. Done. All right, let's try loading this in the game and see what happens. This is 833. Okay. Because I don't know if this is just going to work off the bat or if there's something that needs to be done. Oh my goodness, look at that. We've got little flags there. Neat. Okay, what happens when I upgrade the portal? Yeah, it builds out a path. That's pretty cool. And then if I toggle invincibility and speed this up, we should see the next path get built out as well. Character needs to win the fight. Yeah, nice. Very cool. Very, very cool. If we save and load, does that get restored correctly? Yes. I think the issue we're going to have here now is we're not zooming to integer amounts. So yeah, the pixel art can look kind of bad. So we got to fix that. Probably change the zoom levels so that the artwork looks crisp. Make sure it has a nearest filter. But yeah, this is pretty good. Drawing these circles, we probably want the circles to draw underneath this thing now, or to have an outline shader. Yeah, probably want the red dots to draw underneath the map nodes, or for us to use an outline shader. A map. Yeah, I know. It looks great. And hey, David. Yeah, nice. Okay. Well, let's look through this because there's quite a lot that changed here. Did I read everything in the conversation section? What in the world is happening right now? Was that just laggy or what? You're gonna make paths more path-like, put together a test. Little platform type things at each location, and when it gets unlocked, a waving flag should appear. Yeah, nice. Yeah, I think it's pretty cool. Okay. Code time. Portrait shopkeep. What? Why did that change? Is there a new shopkeep portrait or is it just the import? Huh. That's weird. Just the imports? And these are new? I'm not sure about that. Where are those? Assets, characters? Do we have portrait shopkeep? We don't. I wonder if he meant to add this in. Yeah, same thing with shopkeep. Or if these are just stale from before. Because I don't. You know what we could probably do? We could probably look through the old code. If this matches exactly what we used to have, then I think we can just get rid of it. Hear the word crisp? I can't help but mentally imagine and hear the noise. Tongue click guy. You have you heard of synesthesia? Stimulation of one sensory or cognitive pathway leads to involuntary experiences in another sensory or cognitive pathways. So it's like tasting colors or something like that. I wonder if that's at all related to what you're describing. Android, thank you for the resub. Welcome back. Welcome back. So we got to go look for this portrait shopkeep.png. That's in characters. How do we find this? Can you just look at the history of a folder? It probably is an add graphics because that's where we added in a bunch of different things. Yeah. So is this where we had this? Shopkeep. It's not there. What? Yeah, what? I might just need to ask about these. Is there a way to see the... Yeah, here it is. Characters slash shopkeep.png. I'm going to wonder everything remotely close to the house. Yeah, I think there's sort of some traditional ways in which it manifests. And it's things like, I don't know, assigning a gender to a number or something like that. All right, I don't know the best way to do this. Let's search for how to search git history for a file name or file path. What is that called? Aphantasia? Yeah. Inability to visualize mental images. Yeah. Yeah, and you wouldn't know talking to somebody. I still remember I have a friend, I have a couple of friends actually who have this, and the way that one of them described it, because they're also a programmer, is they said that when they picture somebody, they they think of them as like a JSON blob. So it'd be like height, tall, you know, whatever, hair color, brown, something like that. And not the actual image of them, which is I think a cool description. Hey, Jumia. What's it called if someone doesn't talk to themselves in their own head? I don't know. All right, get log dash dash path. But can this tell you? Shows the full history of all changes of that string. All right, let's try this, I guess. Get log dash g shopkeep.png. Testing battle map ideas is the only place where it shows up. Yeah, so then I think this is something new, and I'm not sure what this is. Hey, Eclipse. All right, I'll need to follow up with Quickie Joe about this. Follow up with Quickie Joe. What is portrait shopkeep and shopkeep.png? They weren't included, but their import files were. Portrait dash shopkeep and shopkeep. Okay, so I think we need to delete those. Yeah. All right, I'll go delete those. Portrait shopkeep. I wanted to reveal this in Binder. This one, and then there should be another one, shopkeep.png. Yeah, this one. Okay, remove unused import files. I still need to ask Quickie Joe whether these should have been used, in which case we would need the corresponding image. Oh, wait a second. We know that these aren't going to be used because their UIDs will never be mentioned anywhere. Yeah, they're not. What about the other one? Oh, yeah, they're not used. Okay, I don't know. Let's sync that. So I've reviewed this, and if I refresh, they're just going to be gone. Yeah. All right, this image for sure looks great. I have no problem with this. So these two are good. Then we have the flag waving. This is the map flag. We already had a flag graphic somewhere, and I want to see where that is. Exterior? Marketplace? There it is, flag. Okay, what's the difference between these two things? Oh, they're just different graphics. Okay, that's fine. Where's the other one show up? Is there a map in here? Battle? Where is this thing located? I know they're different. I just want to see them both in GIMP anyway. This is in UI, I see. Oh, we got all this stuff in just one folder. Okay, I probably want to do it too. Put all of the map stuff in its own folder. Flag wave map.tres, this one. I like this graphic. What is this? What is that? Oh, the shadow? No. What? I I think, how do I zoom in any further? I don't know how to zoom in any further. I thought it was huh. Oh, there we go. Okay, weird. Now it's finally working. All right, so I would normally think that it's the shadow, but what's weird about this is we could just draw the shadow on these pixels. It's concrete texture. It might be, but it wouldn't belong in here. We could just make this be a shadow. Also, is it the same four things every time? Yeah. But the uh yeah. Yeah, I think we need to do this a little differently. Like it looks fine. This is convincing. It's just I think the shadow should be um drawn differently. But I don't think it's worth modifying that right now. Okay. Okay, so this is fine. This is fine. Now we have a whole bunch of different paths. Path 0. And this is intended to be drawn on top of the map. Where's the map? We got to delete this. CP5 map.png. Not averse to Google. Well, it's called knowing their monologue. Apparently, people don't talk about it consistently. So I'm guessing some people have it and some really don't. Hmm. I imagine if you search for it in terms of reading books, you might find more information. So I want to open this up. What I think is going on here is I think these paths are meant to fill in the rest of what's already there on the map. Because there are these weird cutouts for it. Like what's causing this? And this is path 0. So this forms a that's this one that it forms, I guess. Oh, I see. Okay, I get it. This is supposed to render on top of everything else. We should probably just have it render beneath. And then it can just be a full path. Yeah. I'm gonna give a little bit of feedback on this stuff, I guess. Paths, e.g. path0.png can be drawn like regular paths with no cutouts. And we can just render them beneath the other graphics. So are those other graphics something that we can Oh no, we need to separate those out. I see. Okay, got it. I see. This would involve splitting out the other graphics. But I think it would make for easier iteration in the future and allow us to reposition things easily. Except for not really allow us to reposition things easily because the paths are going to be explicitly from point A to point B. But I guess we could always just draw a different path. Yeah. Okay, so I'm not going to look through every individual path thing then. They're all going to look the same, right? Yeah, they're going to have some like cutout bit. Okay. The CS proj file changed. I got to tell Quickie Joe about this. Update Godot to the newest version, or to the version that we have in game.cs proj. So we're not going to check this in game.cs proj. What should this say? Should be this. So just delete the version string after here. And then I believe the csproj.old file was checked in. Yeah, game.csproj old and old1. What happened there? Anything else? Project.godot changed? Oh, that shouldn't be changed. Project.godot. Full size? This goes up here. And then just one little code thing that I need to look through. All right, this is good. I think it's a good change. I think we have a few things we've got to do as a result of this, but in general, I think this is looking pretty good. Undo changes to related to game version or Godot version. I think Quickie Joe is still on the beta version. Well, it's not, I think. It's pretty much, I think, yes. Or maybe this was just checked in anyway. Okay, so check that in. Now sync that. So now we should have even fewer files modified. So it says 28. That should go down to 24, I believe. 27. What? That. What? It should say 24, I'm pretty sure. Deleted. Wait a second. We check this in? Game.csproj.old? It is there. Oh, man. Okay, that shouldn't be there. I checked this in. Oh, whoops. Yeah, whoops. Okay, well, my bad. And then this line changed. What happened here? We did not have a new line, and now we have a new line? I don't know what that means. Yeah, I'm not totally sure what this means. But I want to revert this to whatever it used to be. So let's go find it. It's here. Yeah, there is no new line supposed to be there because this is something that got modified automatically, and we have a new line. How do we save without the new line? I think we'd have to turn off that in the settings. Render last line number when file ends with a new line. Insert final new line. Yeah, so we turn this off and then we delete this and then check it in and then turn it back on. There we go. Okay, so really what I should do is remove final new line from game.csproj. This is just to clean the diff. All right, so now we do that, and then we find that number of files should go down to 26. Good. So let's collapse everything again. Now, is there anything that's here that shouldn't be here? We'd originally expected that to be 24. We've deleted old.1, fixed up that one, had that. And there was a fourth thing. What was the fourth thing? Project.godot. That shouldn't be showing here anymore. So why is this here? No, this is here. That's fine. Why is it not 25 then? I don't have an answer for that. Okay, well, doesn't matter. All right, so now the instance map itself changed. Let's go look at that one. Fishing Pong? Did I name it Pong? No, I think Quickie Joe might have done that. Yeah, Quickie Joe did that. That's fine. Except how does that not break things? Doesn't that mean it has to show up in the code as well? What causes these flags to show up? Like, how does this... There must be some code that combines it with the word flag. Well, it's got to be something new here. Hey, Karada. Oh, I think that one's always shown. Yeah, I see. It's because you added the dot old change. So +1. Oh, a -1 turns into a +1, which is a difference of 2. No, wait, that doesn't make any sense. I don't know. Yeah. All right, let's just rename this to pond. And I guess let's check the other ones for typos. Although I don't think there can be typos there because these should all be pulled from instance IDs. Yeah. Pond point. Okay, this is looking good. What next? Yeah, I don't think there's anything bad about this scene. Although I will say this, we probably don't need there to be specific flags for all of these. We could just add them in dynamically because we know exactly where the point is, and these always render exactly on top of the point, don't they? Fishing pond point is right there. Fishing pond flag is right there. And we can even center this. Is it purposely not centered? It is centered. Oh, it doesn't need to be centered. But if we don't center it, then we need to set the offset correctly. This is not a big deal, but it would allow us to delete this many different nodes, which would be nice. But this should be the case for everything, right? Where's forest node? These are all off. Let's turn them on. Yeah, they should always just be exactly where the corresponding thing is. Yep, yep, yep. Yeah, if this is the case, I'm probably going to dynamically add them. Yeah, it is the case. Okay, yeah. Yeah, I think the map looks great. I'm very, very happy with it. Okay, I want to delete these things. I want to make it so that we dynamically add in the flags. Dynamically add flag nodes rather than hard code them into the map. But I want to figure out what else we want to change though before we do all of that. These offsets changed because the points are now actual resources. No, they were resources beforehand too though. Wait a second. Fishing pond point is now fishing map. Why are there scripts for all of these? Oh, never mind, never mind. There's two different scripts. I thought there were like 14 different scripts. That I don't care about then. What's this? This has a circle. Why does it have a circle? The circle. Oh, the circle still shows up. But the white circle never shows up. Just blue and red. And I think we want to change this to an outline shader maybe. The stairs? Oh, these? Into the Inferno? Yeah, I really like how the canyon paths line up. It doesn't really make sense in terms of a path leading directly to the edge of a canyon, but yeah, I like it still. Okay. So yeah, that white circle never shows up. There must be some difference in the code. I'll need to look at that. And yeah, now we have a bunch of paths that show up. And we used to not do any of that. Yeah, I think we can make all of this dynamic as well. Okay. Well, We'll need to spend some time on that. Let's go look at instance map. Yeah, so now when it's locked, it shows as transparent. When it's unlocked, it shows as transparent. This is not the kind of thing we should be doing then. There's an earthquake, made the canyon, perfectly left the path intact. Is route width even used? Edge of the rectangles centered in the circle, so when you rotate it, I don't think any of this is going to be used either. Okay, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to change a decent amount of this. And these colors are hard coded to be transparent, which means that every time the route is used, it just doesn't exist. Delete the old route code, e.g. things that involved locked color, unlocked color, and route width. The selected color is still used, but it's rendered in the wrong order, I think. What else changed here? Get the map flags. Create a route to the forest. We don't do that now. We just show the path leading to the forest. That should be what's happening here, right? No, we don't even show the forest path. I don't recall, but I think this might be a mistake. I'm not sure. What do we change here? We just renamed fishing pond to pond. Okay, so fix typo in fishing pond. And yeah, now we're starting to work on this. Okay. So close out of this. Relaunch. I want to see if that path shows up to the forest. It does. How? We must automatically show that node. Yeah, create route, forest. Okay, so now we don't need to create a route with two different endpoints. But I'm guessing that function still exists in the code. Yes, it does. But nothing calls this now. Yep, nothing calls this. Which means that nothing calls this either, right? Yeah, nothing calls this. Which means we can delete this code, create route. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And even the routes we should probably manifest in the instance map data somewhere. Should probably manifest routes dynamically as well. That we don't need to load specific ones. Let's also, let's just go through this list. Do we have any changes? Nothing significant, no. Okay, yeah. So let's start with this. Delete the map. The old map. This is the old map. So we're going to delete that. Then let's search for CP5 map. We didn't put this in the credits or anything? Licenses? Paper, line, RPG Essentials free. I don't think we put it anywhere because it was temporary. Yeah, no, we don't have it anywhere. Hey, Goose. Okay, so then this is deleted. Let's check that in. Delete unused map. What site did this come from? Some inking site, D&D ink map creation. This probably incarnate, is that it? I think it was from this. We could just go search for it. Kevin probably wrote about it somewhere. Yeah, that's the one. Okay, yeah. This was the one that Kevin made via incarnate. This is the one that had the pricing page on it, right? Yeah. Yeah. Okay, cool. Done. Delete. So we're done with that. Now delete the old route code. Yep. Let's go get started on that. Instance map. And probably, hey, Maybach. Long time no see. When was the last time you were here? Actually, only 3 years ago, or 3 months ago, excuse me. Yeah, how's it going? I thought it was much longer than that. Actually, how long was it before that? Let me see. Before that, it was 4 months. Before that, it was 2 months. Then it was 2 years and 2 months. Welcome back. Oh, and then run.net format. That's what I said, right? Run.net format. All right, feedback for Quickie Joe. All right. Watch your YouTube videos the last weeks, the shorts. Yeah, I still need to improve the quality of those. Oh, not those. Oh, I see the other ones. Okay. Well, anyway, I'm going to be working on shorts for the next however long. Those videos did decently. They didn't do great. Well, let me see if I can show this. Yeah, here we go. Here is what we got. First of all, the second short was like the most unliked video I've had. It's got 15 thumbs down, so it actually had like 20 at one point. And most of my videos, like the channel average is, I don't know, 99% likes. So when this one got as many as it did, I was like, why don't they leave comments? Why don't they tell me what I'm doing wrong? I learned a lot from that. But anyway, yeah, the first short had about 1,000 views. The next one has about 4,500. So that means the next one should have about 100,000, and the next one should have about 1 billion, which is good because if you look at the revenue earned for these, both shorts in total earned $1. I spent like a combined total of maybe about 8 hours on them. So I got $1 per 8 hours. And even if it were $8 per hour, even that wouldn't be worthwhile, but it's especially not worthwhile at this amount. But yeah, the point is not to try to earn money from those. Only on the shorts. Yeah, because the first short had a lot of setup that I needed to do that I now don't need to do again. So the first short probably took like 6 hours, and the second short took probably about 2 hours. The setup stuff was things like, how should I arrange the screens? How do I record such that I get this? I tried like AI green screening so I could do it in my video editor instead of in OBS. Blah, blah, blah. A whole bunch of those sorts of things. And then the reason why it even takes 2 hours to do this, for pretty much every video I ever make, and there's no real getting around this, you need an idea. Then you need to turn it into a script, which I start with an outline, then I kind of turn into a script. And then you need to record. Again, you can't really get around any of these things. And then there's some amount of editing. Yeah, and recording is not always just recording. There's sometimes re-recording. You have a take and you're like, it works, but I wanted to change the script. Did AI stuff work? It like kind of worked, but I ended up just doing the green screening in OBS. Like a partner program? Yeah. I am in the partner program. It's just that shorts earn you incredibly little money per view because they expect you to have a ton of views and they can't show ads on every single short. So they have to show them between like 5 different shorts, let's say, and then split the ad revenue across the ones that they showed. $1 a day is more than a lot of the world. Well done. Yes, unfortunately, I have a different frame of reference here. So all of this stuff together for that second video, which ended up being 52 seconds long, yeah, it took me about 2 hours. I'm not upset by that, by the way. I'm not really upset by the performance of the second short at all. I think it did pretty well. But I need to get to the point where people like the shorts that they're watching. So I need to improve them still. Don't spend it all in one place. I'll make sure to spread out the pennies. 1 penny for groceries, 1 penny for my Copilot subscription. That way I will not have spent it all in one place. Okay, so is the lock color use it all? We've gotten rid of this function completely, except for this. Update instance unlock. Is this still called? It is. All right, how about we start at create route? because we now know that this isn't being used anymore. This is only for routes, and now we can just show the route based on the endpoint. Path instance, path, set it to visible. I mean, these can just be show. Get the path. And then get the flag. So show both the path and the flag. Don't we already have something that does this? No, and the flag stuff is new. We had something like this for getting... I could have sworn I wrote a function for this. Get map marker. Here it is, points. And what, the points don't matter anymore? This whose line is it anyway? Set up locations. We do still need this. We don't need this. We need this so that we can update the tooltip. Okay. Tennis short will take like 1 second to prepare. Yeah. I think at some point ideas are going to become a problem. I think I have enough stuff I can still talk about for the next at least few weeks, but then I'm probably going to be scraping the bottom of the barrel. And I've got some other ideas for unrelated shorts, but what I was starting was a series called Game Dev Problems and How I Fix Them. And this, my original goal was kind of twofold here. Have stories to talk about because I thought they could be interesting, and maybe like teach people some helpful tips about game design, basically. I don't think people are as interested in the stories part. I think they probably want more of the tips part, but I don't know. I still need to experiment. Moving to Flex PTO on April 1st. That means everyone has to use their current PTO or the company has to pay it out. 7 seconds of PTO. Hold on a second, but why are they trying to get you to use it? Like, wouldn't most people are incentivized not to use it, right? Because not only will they get a payout, but eventually their PTO is not going to cost them anything to use. How about getting jobs in game dev? The thing that's tough about that for me is the last job in actual game dev I had, like in the industry, was in 2015. And I just don't think I have a lot of relevant advice to give. I don't know what the industry's like now. I don't know what it's like to try to apply with AI resumes and cover letters out there. So yeah, I'll probably pivot to like tutorial stuff. That's probably, I should write that down. If I run out of ideas, just pivot to tutorial stuff. Because you can always get views with tutorials. Like what Zaycliffe says. Oh yeah, no, I get this. Sorry, I made this unclear. Why would a person want to use their PTO? I get why the company would want them to use it. But why would a person be like, oh, the company's about to not pay me money if I, in the next like week, take a vacation day? Isn't every employee incentivized to just wait 12 days, take all the vacation they want, and get money for it? You didn't look for jobs after that? So from 2015 to 2020, I was making Botland here on stream. And then from 2020 to 2023, I worked at Google, which is just not in the game industry. So that's why I say my last like real industry game dev job was 2015. My last, quote unquote real job was 2023, I guess. But yeah, game dev, I just haven't been around for a while. Actually, I can't say I haven't been around for a while. I'm doing a game dev job. It's not a traditional job, though. It's my own thing. Oh, we have to? They basically threatened all but firing? Really? Man, that's really bad. It feels like, yeah, I don't know. That's bad. I would just not do it. They can't fire you for not taking PTO. What happens if we don't have any PTO? Let me answer it that way. That will not happen. Someone should raise their hand. I have 7 seconds of PTO. Do I have to take 7 seconds of vacation time? Can I round up to a day? Hey James, can you please talk about Google's hiring process? Because I'm a freshie targeting Google. Here's what I'll say. Any of the big companies, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Netflix, they're so well documented in how their hiring processes work that I'm almost certainly not going to add anything interesting or unique if I were to talk about it. So, like you can almost certainly find a bunch of videos online. If there is something you have a question about beyond that, I'd be happy to answer it, but like I said, there's no real mystery. They're very clear about here's what we want, here's the kind of people we hire, here's how we do things. And there's like I said, there's no mystery. It's not like you're gonna get a puzzle and you gotta solve the puzzle. And yeah, if you talk to me, I can tell you what the puzzles are. It's not like that. Hey Richie. Rounds, googliness round. Yeah. What I'm saying is start by searching that because you will almost certainly find a bunch of stuff online about it. Like if we just search for googliness interview, and actually let me use Google for this. Yeah, like look through some of these things that you find here. There are tons of resources on this. There are a bunch of YouTube videos as well. Like look at this. There's a 7 minute long video. Here's a 7 minute long video. Another 7 minute long video. Like there's a lot. There's a lot online. And yeah, same thing for the how much data structures and algorithms. Like generally you're going to get 5 interviews and generally it's going to be some combination of design, data structures and algorithms, and then the behavioral thing, the googliness. And it's something like 2 + 2 + 1 for that, or maybe 1 + 3 + 1. I don't know the exact numbers. Again, you should look that stuff up. Yeah, each one of them answers differently, but I'm going to answer differently too, right? How is it going to be any different? You should use all those data points you have online to try to figure out what's the consensus. I would just be adding one more noisy point into that mix of data. They'll let us take a stupid amount above our current limit. If I have 15 hours of PTO, is that sure take 45 hours? We don't care. We'll make it work. Yeah, part of the reason they're doing that is because they've already committed to in like 10 days saying you could just take 45 hours without marking it down at all. Yeah. That's a big cursor. Yeah, it was always that big. Yeah. Did you use IntelliJ IDE as well, but only a short period? I used it for Java coding and Kotlin. Well, I haven't used it for other things. I very rarely do that here. So Zay, I get that. Yeah, I get that you want my take on this stuff. It's just I'd be talking about this for like 5 to 10 minutes, and it wouldn't be super helpful for me or for the rest of the stream. And also, um, no one really has a reason to lie about this stuff. Who's making those videos or those blog posts? Because if they did a bad job, then all the people who went and interviewed would like just downvote those videos. All right, I also have not made progress on this in a little while. I wanted to figure out what are we doing with create route. So this was just to get the 2 points that we have, 2 vectors. And we had a destination name here for some reason too. So we make it a route. I see. And this added a rectangle. Then we set. So I think we can just delete these things safely. Yeah. Disappointed but not surprised. I don't think you're losing anything by me not answering. Let me put it that way. If I was like, hey, I have information that you can't get elsewhere. If you were like, hey, in Botland, what did you do for X? Like most other people in the world can't answer that question because I made Botland. But like Google has more than 100,000 employees. So if you cannot find that information online, I'd be shocked. All right, modulate color of instance unlock. Where is this used? Unselected. This, no matter what, is going to be transparent. And we don't make routes like this anymore. They're now called paths. Okay, I see. What was a tech stack at Google? I worked on 2 different teams. And there's a lot of internal software that wouldn't help you to know about. So like imagine an IDE that exists within Google and nowhere else. But as far as the like public tech stack stuff, the first team was like Go and maybe a little bit of Python. The second team was Java and Kotlin. This was all like cloud stuff. Whoops. And this was, yeah, pretty much just Java and Kotlin. Yeah. Yeah, Maybach, if you're looking for something, I can answer some of those. Yeah, and by the way, good luck today. I'm not saying this stuff to try to be withholding necessarily. I think you have all the information out there. I hope you do well. Every video started with I made $1 million per year, so you should listen to me. I never watched that guy's videos. I don't really go outside of my YouTube bubble a whole lot. This isn't needed. So now this is pointless. And this is for creating routes. So how do we load these properly? Here it is. And what does create route do? It just shows these things. So now this isn't needed. Where else did we do this? And why is this even here? Init. I can't say I understand why we had done this originally, because we would have called create route from somewhere else anyway. But now this will get deleted. Hey, Jake. Things seem so rough to get into, especially as a junior. I think it's intentionally that way. So a lot of these companies take the stance that they would rather not hire a good person to make sure they're not hiring bad people. Like one bad egg on your team is going to it's going to reduce the quality of the team and the company by way more than if you had just not gotten, a genius coder. Just cross the Botland YouTube channel is wondering what the name Xtonomus means. Oh, yeah, I don't have a command for that, but when I started the company with a guy named Ian back in like 2015, or maybe even 2014, I don't know. And it was, we were going to make Botland, and it's an automated game, and we wanted something that kind of worked in automation. And I talked about this before, but the first name we had that we liked was Autonomy. But when you say it, it sounds like white autonomy. And I did not like that. So we ended up with Xtonomy or Xtonomous, and yeah, we ended up with Xtonomous. I like that. Is Ian doing okay? We fell out of touch. Sometime in 2016, we parted ways, and we were still friendly with each other. We just didn't really cross paths a lot. And I'd say, I mean, if we bumped into each other today, it's not like we'd be slinging insults or something. I'd be like, "Hey, how have you been?" I don't think, I don't know. Yeah, I hope there's no bad blood from his side. I was a little resentful at first, and I think everything's fine now. It's not like Botland, probably would have done well no matter what we had done. I think we would have needed to change quite a lot. Is there a link for the keyboard? Yeah, check out the keyboard command. That should work. Oh, great. It broke this completely. What happened here? API. Oh, it can't post to the API thing. Let me try this out again. It just popped up a thing. Hang on, I'm going to try that again. I know the command is already in chat, but I have a voice activated thing. Check out the commands command. Yeah, cool. Okay. I know it freezes the video, but yeah, there we go. Did you know Ian before starting? Yeah. We worked at the same company together. And we worked on a couple of like small projects. I think I've got a blog about that somewhere. Let me see. Yeah, I think it's this post. I'll paste this in chat. This is somewhat long, but you might find it interesting if you were into the Botland days. Man, yeah, it's a pretty long post. Wow. Okay, are these used anywhere now? They still are, but this is pointless because this is always going to be transparent. and the route gets modulated based on if it's a route, which is now not possible. Unselected color, what is that? The points modulated is set to whether or not it's selected. All right, so this can just be colors dot transparent. So now this is not needed. Routes don't even exist anymore. Not like that, at least. Now this isn't needed. All right. Images are missing. Wait, are they? Does anyone else see that the images are missing? It might be some like, yeah, I'm not sure why that would be. Images are working for you? Yeah, Smack. Maybe I was gonna say maybe it's an ad blocker, but these are just imager links. So try reloading maybe. If someone wants to think and work like you do, did you do anything specific besides life, which made you who you are today? Any specific book or topic which was life changing for you? So, philosophical stance here. I think we are all summations of our experiences and influences, such that even if I were to answer what is it that inspired me or influenced me the most, I'm still going to be subtly influenced by all the other things in my life, people I witnessed, working methodologies I saw. So in general, I think if you watch the stream, you'll see enough of this shine through where my answer shouldn't even really matter here. But uh, one, I value organization. You've seen me take a lot of notes. You've seen me even just respond like how I am right now. I tend to structure things, and that helps me out a lot. Two, I've spent quite a good amount of my life trying to refine what makes to-dos work, to-do lists, I mean. And generally what I found is you need to be picky about something getting onto your to-do list. There are the 4 Ds of handling things. And it's either do, drop, delegate, and defer. And the easiest one is to drop something, right? So try dropping things before they even make it onto your list. And a lot of times delegate is not an option. Like if it's your, I gotta do the dishes or something, like you can't just get somebody else to do it for you, at least a lot of the time. Yeah, and you don't want these things to expand too much. The other thing that's I think really important is the you ain't gonna need it principle. A lot of times you code something and then think, oh, well, what if in the future we want this? That future will probably never happen. So don't start spending time on it. And for that same reason, don't prematurely optimize. You might not have a performance issue. You might not even have a product at the end of what you're doing. You might spend a year on a project and then be like, I'm done with this. In which case, did any of your optimizations matter? Did any of the code you wrote matter? Not for a product, it didn't. Maybe for learning, it did. Maybe for reusable code in the future, it did. But if the product doesn't exist, it's like there wasn't probably a reason to optimize it. What else? Feedback I think is really important. I think both giving and taking feedback. And I want to do a video on this at some point, but man, there are a lot of people who do not accept feedback. And I think that's one of the worst things you can do just for your life in general. Like, man, try to accept feedback from people. And I think the biggest tip on taking feedback is try not to be defensive. One of the things that's helped about streaming is everyone can come in here and share whatever they want. So you hear smart things, you hear dumb things, you hear just totally irrelevant things. And a lot of people will comment on what I'm doing or how I'm doing it. And over the years, I've gotten thicker skin about it. But in general, one of the things I realize is that there's a nugget of truth in all feedback. And it's not always phrased the best. And the person doesn't necessarily know what they're talking about. But as a really innocuous example, let's say it's a game and the person doesn't have fun. If the person says, I didn't have fun, they know at least how they felt while they were playing the game. They might not know why, they might not know how you could fix things, but they can at least confidently say that they either did or didn't have fun. Those are things you can typically at least trust on self-reporting. I know when it comes to like psychological studies, you can't trust people to say that they're happy or they're not happy, but for games, having fun, or for using your product and it being confusing, those are things that are pretty straightforward. And then you have to analyze why. I find the same thing kind of goes for any feedback. If someone's like, hey, you you tend to be confusing when you're stating things in a conversation or listing requirements or something. I don't know what. You should probably listen. You should probably ask some questions. It probably shouldn't be like, here's why I did it that way. And sometimes I think it's worth sharing. Here's why I did it that way. Maybe there is just some kind of missing gap. Anyway, I could keep going on about more and more aspects of, I guess, my personality and like how it got to be this way. But I think generally organization, keeping track of prioritization, why you're doing things, being open to feedback. I think those things are all important. Yeah, by the way, the last thing on the feedback part is I guess introspect. If I had to give any advice, you don't need to get feedback from other people. You can look at your own life and be like, that went wrong. Why did that go wrong? And I think there is a need to know things and a fear of knowing it. And if you're afraid to turn over that rock because you're worried there are gonna be bugs underneath it, and you're like, oh, it's better just not look under the rock. I'd say to to pick up the rock. Maybe something went wrong and it was your fault, and you should try to improve it in the future. I think in general, you should try to only make the same mistake once in your life, and ideally not more than once. And we all struggle with things. I get it's not always possible. Okay, so now the unlocked color should be hopefully gone. Locked color, unlocked color. I selected the wrong thing there. Yeah, these are gone. Route width is gone. So selected color being red. I wonder if we should change that. I also wonder if we should put these points underneath the flags. Wait, they are underneath the flags. What? What? Take a look at this. Graphics, I think you're looking for credits for that, probably. By the way, there is the commands page. If you just go to a.bot.land, you can just type in something like graphics. It doesn't show up anything here, but yeah, credits is what that comes down to. I should probably just alias graphics to credits. Okay, so why? Oh, I guess that does look correct. Oh, I wanted to put it beneath even the point. Okay, so all we need to do then is put... Wait, where does that graphic come from? Where does that graphic come from? What is that graphic even called? Huh. Is it built into this? Oh, it's built into this. Oh, so we can't render it underneath. Oh my god. Wonder if we should outline things. You should probably be separated out. Yeah. Similarly, we should separate out the stone points that we use to indicate that something is a place you can unlock. That way we can render them wherever we want and in whichever order. Had a superior that would trash all feedback, even if it was someone from someone of the higher rank. I was amazed how much he got away with. Yeah. I, I have a lot of thoughts here that'll probably spiral out of control if I start talking about them. But basically, I think there are some people who don't want to face the truth about themselves. let's leave it at that. So using GDocs for to-dos because it's not something like a permanent note for Obsidian. Yeah, generally something like that. I do have a command for that one at least. It's also just quick for me to do. Been a web dev for over 10 years, interested in learning some game dev as a hobby. To me, it seems the most difficult aspect for a programmer doing game dev is the art aspect. Thoughts on this? I think difficult all depends on what skills you already have. If you're an artist trying to get into game dev, the art stuff is going to be the easiest part of it for you. If you're like me and you have no art skills and can't even draw stick figures, then it's going to be the hardest aspect for you. In which case, I think you have kind of three routes: get an asset pack, hire someone, or learn how to do it yourself. And you can mix any of these routes. There might kind of be a fourth route, which is like use AI. I generally don't think it's good enough now to use as anything other than a placeholder. So like 3.5th route or 3.5th route. Yeah, so generally one of these things. Getting an asset pack is cheap and easy. Hiring someone is expensive and easy. And learning how to do it by yourself is cheap and difficult. So it's all a matter of what do you have the resources? Do you have the time? Do you want your thing to look unique? But in that sense, it's the same as kind of anything else, right? Like imagine you didn't know how to code. You'd have kind of the same things here. It'd either be get white label software, hire someone, learn how to do it yourself, or kind of trust AI to do it. So yeah, it all depends on what you know already. No piano today? Yeah, no piano today. All right, so I think we check in what I've done so far, which is get rid of the route stuff. I also want to change this around very slightly. But yeah, at least those colors aren't being used. Get node. Yeah. Let's change this to a $sign. It should know how to fill this in. It doesn't. Okay. Well, I was hoping it would. Path instance. Path. And then I want to change the same thing down here. Yeah, that works. Okay. We'll try that out. Being as bad as art as you isn't necessarily a blocker, more of a minor inconvenience. Well, it all depends. If you are not happy with asset packs then and you don't have money to hire somebody, then it could be a blocker. But yeah, if you're okay with asset packs, like the trees you see here, the terrain you see here, all of that is coming from an asset pack. The characters you see, those were made by an artist specifically working on Botland, Skeleseller. And we're getting more and more custom artwork for this. So for example, this new map, this is all completely custom. If we wanted this, we couldn't find this in an asset pack. Are these squashed, by the way? No, they're not. I think we just need to fix the zoom on this. It allows us. Tips to freshies. I think my biggest tip to people who are entering the industry is ask questions of your peers. Like, don't assume you need to know everything yourself. And I'm not saying don't do any research yourself either. Just make sure you're not working in isolation. If you're working with other devs, you have that team for a reason. And part of the reason is for them to help you grow. And it's not your only resource for growing. You should also be paying attention to that yourself. But yeah, that's my biggest tip. I think it can feel overwhelming for people who come out of college like, oh, college would have prepared me for every part of the job. It will not. And that's okay. You won't be totally in the deep end. Ooh, unused code for routes. All right, so this stuff's all done. Now we should probably manifest routes dynamically as well, so we don't need to load specific ones. This is for the paths. And the paths are specifically positioned here. I actually think we should probably leave it how it was then, because the positioning really matters. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to do anything about that for now. All right, probably change the zoom levels so that the artwork looks crisp. Let's also make sure that this is using the right filter for this. It's set to inherit, which I think means it's going to be set to nearest. Yeah. We could just change this. I'm nearly positive it's already nearest, though. Yeah, it is. Okay. I mean, we'll explicitly set it. It doesn't matter. So then we just need to change the zoom levels. Where do we do that? Instance map camera. Here it is. Possible zoom values. All right, 0.5, 1, 2. Let's try that and just see how that looks. Set it to 1 actually. Let's see what that looks like too. You say you're bad at art, but you compose all the music, right? Yeah, I mean visual art. I think I'm decent at music. I can't do visual art. And I think the dev efficiency course is still good. All right, so if we're going to do this, no, maybe zooming out to 0.5 is good. Wait a second. Something's wrong. I think this is a viewport thing that's making this look a little bit bad. Oh, also, that is a little bit broken, huh? Because the flag is showing on top of this. It should just be a shadow. Drat. Yeah, we're going to have to fix that. I mean, I guess it's not obvious when you're zoomed out. It does just look like a shadow, but otherwise it looks bad. How would I fix this? I guess we just take this shape and apply this color. Can we do that? No. Man. Never know how this works. I guess yeah, GIMP doesn't have a select opacity tool. Like we can change the opacity here, but it needs to exactly match. I should probably just use a different tool for this, huh? Because we want it to look like this and then be filled in. I guess we can just see once it looks close enough, right? Yeah, that's close enough. All right, so it's set to about 31%. Yeah, so let's do this with all of them. Can I just move the selection? Whoop. Don't want to do that. How do you move the selection? Huh. Select the shadow shape that you want. Doesn't have a shape. This is just a flat image, so there's no layers in here or anything. I'm just going to do what I did for all of this. I know it's going to be... Well, I guess I can just do it all at once, huh? Okay, so we cut, paste. Then can we just fill the entire entire layer with a certain color? There's probably a way to do that. All right, whatever. We're not gonna spend the time learning this. We're just gonna paste this in. It's gonna take me maybe another minute. I know this isn't the most efficient. I'm very bad at this. There, and then we just change this to be about 31%. There, okay, there. So there's our shadows. And now we export this. All right, so now if we reload that, shouldn't shadow the whole be stronger than applied? I'm not super concerned about that for right now. But yeah, that looks better. It's still not great actually. So now when something isn't selected. Oh, I see. I see. Yeah, we should probably just outline this and not use the dots anymore. That's fine. That's already written down. But the problem I had was that this is looking a little bit blurry, and I think that's due to, let's just make it 4, 5, 8. I think it's due to using a viewport here. You can view the opacity layer in GIMP like a monocolor image. Yeah, you're probably right. Yeah, this is a problem. All right, so here's what I'm talking about. If you look at this, this looks a little bit fuzzy. Like these pixels are not sharp. But if you look at it in the game, everything is very sharp. You can tell the line, the outline around this. And I think this is because of how we set up our viewport. And I don't know the best way to do this. I still have to look into that. Oh, man. Maybe it's not even worth doing right now. Do we have the texture filter set up correctly? I don't even know where that goes. Ah, default texture filter. We set it to nearest. That might actually fix a lot of that. Oh my goodness, thank God. Okay, great. Oh. All right, this might also shed some light on what we need to do for our other camera. Oh, this looks bad at whatever zoom level this is now. Oh, maybe because it's 0.5. I don't think there's anything we can do about that. Yeah, when you're fully zoomed out, it's got to cut some pixels in half. It just looks choppy, that's all. Although even at 1, you can see this thing moving a little bit. Huh. I wonder if it's not rendering to... Yeah, we should do this. Snap 2D transforms to pixels. Do we also do this in the town viewport? No, we don't do that at all for there. But we need smooth movement there. We don't need it on this map. Let's reload this. The flicker is a weird part. The flicker should hopefully be solved. So if that's all that was bothering you, then I hope that's now gone. No, the flicker's still happening. Although maybe we just need to do this too. Snap vertices to pixel. Yeah, the flicker's gone now. It's just not great. Like, a lot of the details just lost. But then zooming into any level looks totally fine. I think this is maybe the max level zoom we should allow. And even that's questionable. Yeah, people are definitely going to want like a 0.5 zoom. Also, what if I change the game scale? I think you'd want to make this whole panel larger. Okay, so let's see. This is 0.5, this is 1, this is 2. It's probably the largest zoom we need. Levels of depth through the object on the map. We need to draw different levels. It's maybe doable. Also, hey, Devil Dog. Maybe switch interpolation when zoomed out. Nah, that could work. Let's see what that would look like. So if we change this back to linear. Let's also zoom in on this. So this is linear. What's going on? Linear. And now let's get the nearest. And then put this into GIMP. And get this. I want like exactly the same zoom levels. Yeah, I think what Nui suggested is a good idea. This does look a lot better. Very interesting. I never thought of that. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, so now we need to have this work dynamically based on this camera. And it's probably got to do something that it can't know about. Let's write that down. Use a linear filter on, where is that thing? Instance map viewport. When at a zoom of less than 1. Otherwise, use nearest. This should probably be done for the game as well. How far can you zoom out? In the game, it doesn't actually look bad. Do you use Outlook for Mac? No, I don't. I use Gmail. Should probably do this for the main camera too. All right, so this part's done. Let's check that in. We also fixed the map shadow, and that apparently changed the UID of this. Why'd the size of this change? I'm just going to leave that as it is. Spray frames is different. This definitely we do not want to check in. Do I have the town open, I guess? Yeah. All right, so check in that. No, just check in this. Fix shadow on the flag. It was showing the stone like platform in the flag sprite, which meant that we would render stone instead of shadow on top of the selection marker, the red circle that shows in the game. And eventually we're going to delete that anyway, but sure, there's that. So this then fixes UID IIBW. Let's just update a UID, right? And then we'll change here, zoom levels. This was done automatically. And then this is update zoom levels for the battle map. The default texture filter is now nearest, which makes the map look good at zoom levels greater than or equal to 1. I also allowed for higher maximum zoom levels. Okay, so now we got to control this dynamically based on what the camera is. We have 2 different kinds of cameras. Here's the instance map camera. Whenever you modify the zoom, this potentially needs to signal to something that you need to update the texture filter used. This is the camera. This is inside of instance map, but we need this to be in battle panel. So battle panel needs to listen to instance map. Where's instance map? There it is. Yeah. It's got to pass it up a level, up to battle map. All right, let's go do all that stuff. Camera. Do we have any signals here right now? Nope. Zoom. So there's a set zoom. I guess what we could do is find out when this changes. Zoom. Yeah. Ooh. But then when this thing gets tweened, it's gonna set it constantly. That's probably okay. Yeah, that's probably okay. let's see what happens. Okay, well, let's put this in. Public event action. And we need to know the zoom level that you use. Zoom changed. All right. So if zoom is not equal to zoom x, then invoke this. Hey Deb, how you doing? Do not check floating point inequality like that. Yeah, sure. I wonder if there's an auto fix for this. There isn't. But anyway, if math.abs of zoom minus zoom x is less than math.epsilon, math.epsilon? Yeah. Great. Or whoops, greater than. All right. Now, in the instance map, we listen for that and then pass this upward. We should already have some kind of event here. Yeah, we do. So this is going to be changed camera zoom. Camera. Instance map camera doesn't contain a definition for this. Does this not inherit from camera? It does. Oh, can you not? It's zoom changed. Oh, this is just backwards. Then maybe we should rename this to camera zoom changed. Okay, sounds good. Now the battle panel listens for that. So there should be an instance map that we initialize somewhere. Yep, here it is. Okay, camera zoom changed. So now what we want to do here is we want to get this thing, instance map viewport. And what is that? A sub viewport. Okay. Private sub viewport instance map viewport. That's this. And then we want to set this thing's filter based on this. So if zoom is less than 1, let's do it this way. What is this thing even called that I'm trying to set? There's a default texture filter. I want to change it at the current time. I wonder if this does that. So if it's less than 1, we want it to be linear. What is this thing even? Yeah, it's this. Otherwise, nearest. Yeah, there. All right, let's try that out. So if this looks smooth at any zoom level, then we're done. That's not too bad. Oh, also, this is not called with a tween. What am I talking about? All right, so it looks good now. It's crisp, right? Yeah, and then we zoom out. And now it uses linear. That is fantastic. Yeah, that's fantastic. Okay, great. It looks good at any zoom level now. Now, I wonder if we should do the same thing with the game. Like the town, not the game. So where's our sub viewport there? Here it is, town viewport. I kind of want to try this. What is it set to right now? It's set to nearest by default. But then, yeah, you fully zoom out and it changes. Also, wouldn't this cause text to look bad? Maybe not. Let's check in what I've done so far. Looks good, looks good, looks good. Yeah, nice. This was a very straightforward change. Okay, so conditionally set texture filter for viewport for the instance map. Or I guess I should say this. For the battle map, we now set a linear texture filter when at a low zoom level and a nearest filter otherwise. This makes the map look nice at any zoom level. Hey, Zephyr, thank you. It's been going well so far, although I haven't written a lot of like unique code yet. It's all been for PRs. All right, so this is done. Now we need to potentially do this for the main camera. Let's go try that out. So we have the town viewport here, and the town has its own camera. Yeah. So the town needs to listen for this to pass it up to whatever holds this, which is this container. Yeah, but this is not going to initialize in the way that everything else gets initialized. I guess town scene is what does this. Yeah. Which shortcut was the check mark? That's coming from a span, my whole configuration is there. So yeah, I have a check mark, an X, pretty much every emoji you can imagine. And Yeah, that way I don't need to find them through a menu. And it lets me just type things out quickly. All right, main camera. So let's get the town viewport. Same thing we just did for this. Battle panel. Sub viewport. Oh wait, I want this up here. All right, this is gonna be called town viewport. Yeah. And then in ready, we go fetch that. This does not come from the town node. I hope this looks good. I really should just test this out manually before I do anything. Yeah, let's do that. It's kind of stupid to test it through the proper coding way if we don't even know it's going to look good. We can just click a button and see. So I'm going to set this to linear. It's going to start to look bad now when at a high zoom level, but when at a low zoom level, it might look a little bit better. So it'll look blurry now. Yeah, I don't know if you can see that, but there's no crisp outline around these. But when I zoom out, does this look better? And I think the answer is yes, like remarkably so. Okay, let's put it side by side so you can see a comparison if you're not sold. So this is with, what happened? Yeah, this is with it set to linear, and this is with it set to nearest. And I don't know how I'd put this side by side exactly, so let's just make two separate graphics. And then we'll zoom in there. So this is nearest. Whoops. All right, I messed up. Hang on a second. Yeah. All right, so this is going to look a little fuzzy when you zoom in, but that's okay. And then this won't look fuzzy when you zoom in. What? Hold on. Something doesn't add up here. I don't know. Let's just try this. Yeah, apostrophe is definitely more convenient. The only problem is when you have something like backtick T, like this types out technology for me, but every once in a while you type don't incorrectly. You're like, oh, let me backspace this and fix it with apostrophe T, and it turns into done technology. And your mafia needs software. Turn to Don technology. All right, let's set this up. Yeah, I think this is a good effect. All right, so where do we get the camera here? Camera dot zoom changed plus equal camera zoom changed. Just gonna put this here for now. Let's zoom. Okay, and then do the pretty much the same thing we did down here. Where is it? Gotcha. Town viewport. Okay, let's try that out. We should probably also say what this is. So if zoom is less than 1, I just want to print this out using linear filter. Otherwise, print, should know what I want. Yeah, using nearest. And I want to be able to turn this off. And I want to be able to do that on the fly. Fine. I'll just code something super fast. Private bool testeroni equals false, sure. And then in unhandled input, we'll just duplicate this, set this to UI page up, and just toggle this. And then print out what that is, I guess. And then down here, we only want to set this. So I guess if this thing is true, then just set this always to nearest. And then say forcing the filter to be nearest. And then return. Okay, let's try that. Go both in the same GIMP image with the separate layers and just hide them. Oh yeah, that would have been smart. Although I took them of two different parts of the world. But yeah, this will let us compare directly in the game. So if I put this on the side, it says it's using the nearest filter. If I zoom out, Oh, it's always using nearest. Oh, so I didn't actually change anything. I said it looks so much better, but I didn't do anything. The default, the lowest zoom is 1? Is that what we're seeing here? Yeah. Oh, my bad. Well, I mean, I guess we can set it to 0.5 and see. What's an example for using date time expanders? I did a lot of mentoring on stream, and for transcription style notes, it's really nice. So I have something like meeting start, and then as I'm taking notes, I'm just like, okay, person said X, or a new timestamp here, and like meeting is coming to a close, and then something like the end timestamp. And that way, when you look over your notes later, you're like, oh, everything's just properly timestamped from the get go. I also do this a lot when I'm writing notes that the time might be sensitive in the future. So, for example, you got something like feedback says things are good. Later, when you're like, when did I write this? The feedback's terrible right now. You could be like, oh, that was way back in March. So yeah, it's helpful for a lot of different things. And if you don't find it helpful, then yeah, you can always just not use it. I do like it though. Okay, so now we can zoom out even farther. We don't want to allow for this kind of zoom in the future, but does this look good? So now this is using the linear filter. It's so zoomed out that it's kind of hard to tell. And I guess we'd also need to snap things to pixel coordinates or else it's going to look bad. Because it looks like things are jittering a bit. But what would the nearest filter look like here? Yeah, so it looks kind of choppy. But yeah, I don't think it's very obvious. I don't think I'm going to check in this change then. I don't think this is needed. This is the minimum zoom level, and I think it looks fine. I wonder if we force this to use linear, how it would look, though. I think it's just the particle systems to look bad. All right, I'm gonna probably revert this. Because, yeah, I don't think we need this. And it's not that hard to add in the future if we do need it. Yeah, okay, let's revert. Okay, done. Now what? Dynamically add flag nodes rather than hard coding them on the map. We're never going to get done with this, are we? This isn't going to be possible, is it? Try an outline shader for the flag to indicate that you've got it selected rather than using a colorful point. And fishing pond needs to be handled specially. I didn't even think about that until right now. The fishing pond has this blue circle here, but when it doesn't have the blue circle, you're going to try hovering over this and it's not going to show you anything. All right, well, we're not on that yet. We're at the dynamically add flag nodes part, so let's go do that. All right, because we can delete all of these, I'm pretty sure. The fishing pond one shows up by default. It's not technically a location you can click at first. What happens when we unlock this? Oh, that breaks. Oh, God. No. No. All right, so I guess we need to check if this is not the fishing pond. Yeah. If path instance, we shouldn't even call this path instance. This should just be instance ID. And then if instance ID, or we could check to see if the node exists. Sure, fine. Get node or null. That's all I would have done anyway. All right. So you can't click this. You unlock the fishing pond, and then you can click this. Yeah, so I don't even think I want this to show up at all until you've unlocked the fishing pond. Look at the little fishing pond there. Isn't that adorable? Clarify it's for a pen? Yeah, sure. All right, let's add in these flags. I just want to see what this thing did because we show this by default. I don't think we want to show it by default, but I'm not actually positive about that. We call this on the forest. Oh, we don't call it on the fishing pond until you unlock it. Ah. Ah. Yeah, not bad. Okay, so then it just needs the instance ID. It needs to go into map flags. So we just delete all of these things. Well, wait a second. They've got to have the right animations. Darn it. They have sprite frames and everything set up. We can just make this its own this own scene. Yeah, that's probably what we want to do. Okay, fine. Excuse me. Save branch as scene. All right, do we have a map thing here somewhere? Instances? No, we don't. Seriously? Where's battle map? Oh, battle map is not a thing. It's battle panel. Where's that? It's an instance prep. Game scenes instance prep. I didn't even see that. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let's call this a map flag. It's map marker already. Map flag. Sure, whatever. Okay, now we want to instantiate these things, but we got to put it right there. Can we just change the offset of this? I don't think the offset matters for positioning, though. I think it only matters for rotation. Textures drawing offset. Maybe it does matter. Oh, it does matter. Wow, would you look at that? So then it's not really centered anymore, right? So we just need to make this be at the bottom left. There. And there. Now let's make them be integer coordinates. So negative 66, I guess. Yeah, and negative 6. Cool. And now do these show up in the wrong spot? They do. Because they were all given an offset. Wait a second. No, that's not why. Because they were given a transform. The transform should now be the same as the point. The point is set to 389. Okay, we just want to copy this. Copy and paste. And if this looks good, then we are pretty much set. Nice. It does look good. A very fine point gel pen, but doesn't feel like a gel pen. Writes more closely to an ink base instead of gel. It's a Sharpie S gel. Huh. I was expecting some like brand I never heard of, probably Japanese. But yeah, cool. Yeah, I very rarely write anymore. I had to write a check yesterday, and I was like, I'm gonna make sure every letter is legible. And I took my time, and it was slightly foreign to me at this point. Like that's how little I write anymore. And I don't know how I feel about that. I've never enjoyed writing and I've never had good handwriting. So I don't feel like I'm missing much, but it's a skill I probably shouldn't lose. Yeah, the check thing is unfortunate. I would have liked to just send money digitally, but this is some archaic thing that I had to interact with. Okay, so we just got to set this to the point, and then we got to make all these in the right spots based on the points and if this thing doesn't exist. But otherwise, just instantiate this thing and we should be good. All right, let's go try it out. Map flags. So we get this node that's set there, and then we don't do anything with it. Okay, when you create the route, I guess it should create the flag as well and then show it. So this is us creating it. So is there a has node? There is. Yeah. So if it doesn't have that node, string flag path or flag node path. All right, so we want to create this thing and add it to the right spot. So scene paths, instance prep. Where's all the map stuff? Huh, okay. Well, let's put it here, I guess. Map flag. And just search for instantiate. Yeah. All right, so this is a map flag. Oh wait, no, it's an animated sprite, right? What is this thing? Animated sprite. Yeah. Animated sprite 2D. Map flag. Scene functions we're gonna need. Why is it not finding it for me? There we go. And then this too. And map flag. Okay, we add this to the right node. Then we should give it the right name. And I guess access as unique. Where's that? Unique name and owner equals true. And then give it the same position as its parent. What if we render it as a child of the point? I don't think we care about that. Okay, let's test that out. This should work exactly the same. Any company that requires a check gets one from my bank. I don't know if we could have done that for this because we needed to send something else alongside it. Also, oh man, I just found out. Okay, so part of this, we needed to go to a notary and we needed to send a check. And we went to UPS and we needed 4 signatures and it cost $60. Which, first of all, that price has gone up a lot since the last time I needed a notary. Second, we didn't know this, but a lot of banks just give you notarization for free. So yeah, if we ever need this again, we are definitely going to a bank. So pro tip for that. Also, as long as I'm talking about totally unrelated things, I've wanted to talk about this somewhere and I don't know where else to talk about this. This is a total sidetrack. In fact, before we talk about this, let me just write down sidetrack. Let me finish what I was doing so that I don't break this. And then I will sidetrack myself on this for a sec. Because there's something that's been bothering me a little bit that once I talk about, I'll just be done with. All right, so we show this flag here. You can select it. When we upgrade the next thing, we show the flag there. All right, so I'm going to select the canyon. We're going to save and load. Does it work? Yes. And then we try going there. It goes to the canyon. Yeah. Okay, that's nice because this allowed us to delete like 400 things from that scene. So yeah, this scene got rid of all of that line, all of those lines. Not going to go buy checks. Turns out you have to buy checks. So that our bank also gave us checks for free. Hey, Matt. Yeah, turns out banks will do a lot for you. All you need to do is give them your money to look after and make more money off of. Okay, I think this is looking good. So I'll check this in and then I'll talk about my little sidetrack thing that no one's going to be interested in. Create flags, map flags from code. This cleans up the scene quite a lot. How goes dev work? It's going pretty well. Check this out. We have a super cool new battle map. And when you unlock a new area, like I guess just take a look at the map now. You see how there are these like faint path outlines? When you unlock those areas, it now fully draws out the paths. And then you can click these nodes just like you could before. But now there's an actual flag there indicating you can click them. Oh, that's not good. Something's absorbing mouse clicks. Also, how many flags are there? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. That's the... No, that's not the only one doing that. Huh. Okay, that's a problem. You gotta fix both of those bugs. some part of the flag is absorbing mouse clicks. In bug, we create flags many times. How long have I been making games? For quite a long time. I've got a command about this. Gonna be satisfied. Well, we'll eventually get back to that sidetrack that I mentioned, but we need to sidetrack ourselves from the sidetrack and find out why multiple flags are showing up. So instance map. We only ever create it here, and it's only if this thing doesn't exist. But the problem we're possibly running into is by putting a % in here. I wonder if what we need to do is this and get rid of the %. That might fix this. I'm not totally sure. Every area you explored also had something happen. Volcano smoke, castle flag goes up, swamps. Actually, that's a pretty good idea. But yeah, that is a lot more artwork that we would need. Did that fix this? Okay, that fixed this. Oh no, it's still happening. Oh, drat. Okay, let's debug this code. I don't know how that's failing, but I think it has to do with how we find this node. So this must be false. Yeah. But it shouldn't be false. What if we searched for it like this? Fishing pond, not fishing pond, forest flag? Still false. What? What? Is it not setting the name correctly? Oh, maybe we need to set unique name first and then set it with a %. That doesn't make sense though. What are we trying to set that to? The name is equal to, well, now it's forest flag 9. But when nothing exists with forest flag, get parents, or no, map flags dot get children. Count 37. One of these should be the forest, right? Yeah, there it is. Name forest flag. And does it have a unique name and owner? It does. What? Why can't you find this then? What? Forest flag. That works. That doesn't work. This is not at all what I expect. I don't know what's going on. I think I wrote about this somewhere. Keep in mind that shaders also need this. No, that's make unique. I want unique name and owner. Did I not even write this down anywhere? I apparently didn't. Or I wrote in a different note. Do we need to set the owner? Oh, is that what that is? Oh my god. It's so stupid. Okay. First of all, do I have a note about this? And do we need to set the owner? Do we ever do this anywhere else? Must be an ancestor. I wonder if this gets set by default somehow. Do we ever do dot owner equals this? We do. Huh. Godot UI? Unique name, %. Problem is, I don't know where I wrote about this, and I have to find it. I don't think I wrote about this anywhere. Hang on a second. Let me go search for my Godot notes this way. Find file Godot. I gotta do this off screen for a sec. Public shared Godot. Okay, so here are all the Godot nodes we have. Unique node. Aha, there it is. It's in GD script. It shouldn't be there. Yeah, I originally had written this out a different way. Here it is. Oh, look at that. You got to set the owner. So annoying. All right, how about this? Let's just put a comment here so that I can find this unique name and owner in C#. And then copy paste this out of here and put it somewhere else. Because I expect it to be here in the Godot engine. There we go. Shorthand for getting a uniquely named node. If doing this through code, you also need to set the owner. Yeah, I'm going to put that in bold. Yeah, Well, at least now we know what's going wrong here. So map flags, I guess. And then we can delete this and probably set this back to what it used to be. I'm not actually positive about this either. Well, let's try it. All right, so we click grant most things. No, it's still making many different flags. So I assume that we do need this to be set that way. Kind of weird that they don't let you set it with a percent sign. Maybe because a percent sign can be part of the name. And that way you might have %%. It's still not working. What is going on here? I'm going to put a breakpoint here. And we're going to try this one more time. All right, that works. So this has node. This should be false. It's true. What? Oh, it's not. Oh my God. It's got to be map flags that has node. Okay, my bad. My bad. All right, now can we set? Oh, let's just get it working first. I haven't forgotten about the sidetrack story. Don't worry. I don't care about this. I'm gonna do this again. Okay, so now it's working. And now the question is, could we also get this to work if we set this to flag node path? Because I'd prefer to not have to make another variable for this. It makes almost no difference though. I just wanna test this out. No, yeah, you do. You do have to do it this way. Okay, so it's not really flag node path, it's flag node name. And we get rid of the percent sign here. And then here we use it with a percent sign. And then here we don't use it with a percent sign. And everything should be good. And then there was some other bug about mouse clicks being absorbed, I think. But let's at least make sure this is working fine. Yep, looks good. Yeah, you can't drag from this point. Oh, you always probably couldn't do that. Oh, now a dot is showing there. Oh, God. Let's delete the dot. So it's some blue color. There it is, town color blue. What if we just deleted that? Town point dot modulate. Do we even use the town point for anything now? Town point dot has been initialized. Okay, sure. Maybe you need buttons for moving and zooming. Maybe, but we don't have those for the game itself. And I don't think we're going to add them there, so I don't think we'd probably add them here either. But I'm not certain. Now there's a white point there. What is this? Route texture. Huh. I forgot to delete that. All right, there's still a problem. The town point has its modulate set to something wacky. I think we should just hide it by default. What are we doing right now? Yeah, here it is. We're setting its modulate. Town point dot modulate equals colors dot transparent. All right, let's try that. Okay, so now it doesn't show up. There's no indication you can click this. But when you unlock the fishing pond, that didn't work. Yeah, the flag doesn't show up. We don't show it by default. Is this thing set to off? No, it's not. Also, it's called fishing pond flag still. We gotta fix that. What? Maybe we... Oh, we probably just don't call create route. Oh, because we never needed to before this. And now we need to. What's initialize map marker? Yeah. I see. Okay, so just call create route instance ID. But why did the flag show up? That means that something was creating it. Oh, because it had to update the tooltip, maybe? All right, so you can't click this. We make the fishing pond. And now you can click this. Cool. And if we save and load. Yeah, nice. Okay, I'm going to check that in. Yeah, I guess let's check just this in. Rename map flag node. Sure. And then we did some things here. This is a couple of different things. I'm not going to split these commits apart. I don't think it's worth it. It's all going to get squashed anyway in the PR. Fix bug with making many flags. I also removed some dead code around route texture. All right, sidetrack time. Warning, this has no relevance to anything. Okay, so I'm going to mention some brand names here, which I normally don't do because no one's paying me any money. But for breakfast, I have a meal replacement thing called Soylent. And their customer service, I've tried reaching out to them a few times, and I'll ask them a question like, hey, how do I request the next subscription sooner? And they're like, click this button. And I'm like, that button doesn't exist. And they say, oh, sorry, you can't actually do that. You need to contact us every time. This pattern of like, hey, I have a problem, and they tell me a fake answer of how to fix it, I really strongly don't like, but they're not the worst customer service in the world or anything. Anyway, recently, I'm doing something that's like, I have these prepaid subscriptions. So you get like 6 boxes at once, and it's the cheapest way to do things. And I was like, hey, how do I apply a reward code? And I asked them, and they said, you can't do that. Like, you're already getting the best deal, so you can't do this. I was like, is that a new policy? I did this 3 months ago. And they didn't respond for a few days. So I just canceled my subscription and switched to one of their competitors, Huel. And then they finally got back to me, and they're like, oh, sorry, we made a mistake. You actually can do that. At this point, I'm frustrated because they don't support their prepaid subscriptions the same way they do all their other subscriptions. So you need to contact customer service just to request the next subscription. You need to contact them to get all of the boxes at once instead of getting them once per month. And then you need to contact them to use rewards codes. And it's like their website should just support this stuff. And I already took the mental energy of like finding a competitor and switching. So now I have a question of like, do I go back to what I was having originally because technically all I ever wanted was the product? Or out of just annoyance with the customer service and their subscription problems on their website, do I never use them again? Anyway, that's my sidetrack. These are the kinds of things I think about because I have boycotted companies before over stupid things. And the first one I remember ever boycotting was Razer. I bought their mouse, the Razer Naga, back in whenever it launched, basically. Like, this isn't even, yeah, it's this one. Yeah, I bought this back in like 2010, 2009, something like that. And back then, these buttons, you can actually see there are numbers on them. That's all they would do. They would type out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then like minus an equal sign or something because it was meant to be used for MMOs. So I got this mouse and I was like, hey, this doesn't do what I want. I wanted to be able to rebind these keys. And they said, we don't have any plans to do that at this time. So I returned the mouse. I have to pay for shipping. And then a month later or so, they allow you to reprogram these. So I was like, hey, I sent an email earlier saying that I wanted this functionality and you didn't have plans to add it. And I paid to return the product on my own dime. I'm like, can you give me a discount on getting the product again? And they said, nope. So I never bought another Razer product in my life. And that was whatever, 16 years ago. I feel like I'm not a typical angry customer who's just trying to get their way. Like, I think that's a totally reasonable thing that, hey, company doesn't have plans to do things. Okay, I pay to return a product. Then they have the plans to do it eventually. And it's like, yeah, give me like a 10% discount code or something, right? So it's kind of the same thing they have with Soylent. It's like I've spent so much time now contacting their customer service and like trying to figure out, is this my problem? I'm nice when I talk to them and everything. And then I get back just like, hey, here's a made up answer that doesn't apply to your situation because they're probably overwhelmed by customer service requests that they can't like fully read through the emails. So anyway, there, that's it. I've now told you all about this. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Also, this stuff tastes like oatmeal. Saving yourself a lot of broken products. Mm, yeah, maybe. I don't know what their quality level is like because, like I said, I haven't bought one of their products again. And actually, the mice I'd been using before from them, I did like, but they did break on me faster than any other mouse. So yeah, maybe it would have been a problem. Do you have games you can give me? It's for my university. What do you need them for university? They don't bother you and it tastes the same and hits your macros. Don't spend any more energy on it. Well, so it doesn't, it tastes worse. It costs more. It ships faster, which is nice. And it's potentially healthier. I'm not actually sure about that. Every customer who's angry thinks their reason is valid, by the way. Yeah, they probably do. But in this case, customer service told me just straight up like incorrect incorrect actions that I should be taking or incorrect policies. And in that case, it's like, all right, I mean, you could say that I'm in the wrong for something. I don't know what, but it's almost like they're lying to me. I have a project to give, but I forgot to do it, and that's why. Let me ask you this stage. What would happen if you didn't turn in anything? Like, are you going to get kicked out of university or will you just get a bad grade for this one class? I've been using Glorious devices recently. I'm pretty happy with them. I have a Glorious keyboard and I have a problem with them too. But it has to do with how they supported QMK. Again, it was one of those things where they're like, "Oh, we have plans to do this," and the plans didn't come to fruition fast enough. So I bought a keyboard and then couldn't do what I wanted to do with it. And their community manager didn't know enough technical stuff to be able to explain what was holding them up. Just had to retake it. I can't get kicked out from university. Yeah, Sage. So I think you should just retake the class, right? I mean, you didn't do the thing. You probably didn't learn the lesson from it. You should probably actually do it at some point. Also, I don't think that's a problem or anything, right? I mean, if you're not going to get kicked out of university, if this isn't going to like drastically change your timeline or anything. Also, your answer for why you didn't do this is just I forgot. I mean, it's not like, oh, I had, four family members in the hospital or something and had to tend to them. It was just that just slipped my mind. Honestly, I can't stress this enough. I feel like it's a learning point. It's like, take the L and yeah, retake the class. Hey, down there. I mean, it's probably worth switching back and then not spending more energy sweating it. They have a bad process, but it's every so often. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I don't think I'm willing to take a hard stance on this. I am disappointed, but I guess that happens. You see Adam learns. Crone keyboard. Oh, corn. Customer service is done the right way. I was thinking about that. What if I made like one keyboard per year and sold it to someone in the community? Yeah. I forgot it because I was focusing on mastering problem solving because I suck at it and don't know how to get better. I mean, I think a lot of this stuff, like very basic organization, is just write reminders that you act on. And there are two parts of that. One is writing the reminder, but then the second thing is that you actually do something about. As an example here, a lot of I think iOS and Android both have some system that has like app timers or lockouts or something. So imagine you're going on Instagram too much. You could set it to have a 15-minute limit, right? At 15 minutes, what happens, I think, I've never used this, is that it pops something up saying, hey, it's been 15 minutes. Like, do you want to get more time? And a lot of people just click, like, yeah, give me more time. In which case, you're not acting on that reminder. And maybe you have some hit rate, maybe like 40% of the time you act on it. But write things you actually act on. So in my case, for example, I use Google Calendar and I have an Android phone. So I mean, I use all the built-in Google stuff and I act on both of these things. So I'll say something like, remind me in 5 days to whatever, do something. So maybe try that out for just managing your homework assignments. Like, oh, I have this project due in a month. Remind me in 2 weeks to that if I haven't started the project that I like need to get on it. I made a script to remind me. I feel like writing a script to remind you of something is worse than just using existing tools. Like probably you have a calendar, right? You can just set up recurring reminders on your calendar and then just delete it when you're done. How can I get better at problem solving? That's all on a case by case basis. Look at what problems you're trying to solve. Like, what did you learn about it? What can you do better next time? I'd be more productive than the normal keyboard group by community. No, that can't be true. They've got to be better than that. One per year. Okay, so we've checked this in. Next is to try add, what is this stop supposed to be? I don't know. I don't know what I was supposed to write there. And put all the map stuff in its own folder. Let's do this one first. This is pretty easy. I want to get better at coding. I think through university, assuming you're going for some kind of coding adjacent thing, you'll get better just through all your assignments there. I'm not saying it's a bad idea to do this stuff, but I think you should consider what the fallout is. Like, let's say you were writing your own like scripts to manage money. I don't know, it's sending payments out to people. If this script goes wrong, you have your money on the line, right? So you wrote a script to give reminders. If this goes wrong, you all your reminders are just lost, right? And now you're realizing what the impact of that is. So I'd say maybe just stick to scripts for things that don't have a lot of impact, like maybe modding games, for example. If your mod goes wrong, you just don't have a mod for a game now, right? It's not a big deal. All right, map stuff in its own folder. I don't think it should be in this folder at all anyway. Let's open up a new one of these and figure out where this should go. Game assets. It's not really a battle thing. I guess we could put it in world. I can make like a battle map thing. Yeah, I think that's probably reasonable. It is kind of the world. Or we could just make a folder here called map. I'll do that. Yeah, let's call it battle map. Okay, now we got to move everything over there. I think we should do this in Godot so that it just fixes things for us. Yeah, this process is always annoying. All right, I want to select all of these. And I want to put it there. Okay. Well, we have another bunch of things we got to do. Map flag. What is separator? Oh, that's horizontal rule. Okay, map flag we definitely want. I guess the dot we want. This we want. That should be everything. Okay, those are just assets, so I think everything should just work. If I consider open sourcing it, I'd probably open source it after the game has like run its course, which if this game is successful, could be something like 10 or 15 years from now. Personally, would never use anything I code in my routine because I know some super corporation already has a version that's 100 times better. Yeah, I guess it all depends on what you want to do. And sometimes it's nice to have something you wrote yourself. And yeah, sometimes it's annoying to have to maintain it. This is looking pretty good. We got our maps, we got our textures. We should have the paths, although I need to click this for those to show up. Yeah. All right, nice. Yes, this looks like a gigantic change. It's not actually that bad. Move battle map assets to their own folder. All right, now the final thing here is the outline shader. So what I want to do is I want to make it so that we outline the flag. Let's just see what it looks like before we commit to this, because it might not look as good. So we add in a new material and quick load our outline shader. I don't care about the shader parameters. Let's not do any of that. And I'm not even going to turn this off. We're just going to have it look like this. In fact, this should look broken because No, maybe it doesn't use. I think it should look broken. I think its outline should be wrong. It's rendering it. Just run this. Yeah, it does look broken. Although, why did that? Huh. Anyway, let's put the texture crop thing on. I'm not sure why it doesn't look like it's animating at all. I don't think that should be happening. And we need a transparency threshold set to something here. Maybe like 0.25 or 0.45. Try that. It would outline the shadow except for this transparency threshold thing. We wrote something that's going to stop it from doing that. All right, now it's getting cut off. What would cause that? Oh man, this might be because of the offset that we use. Oh god. All right, let's revert this. The flags will be in the wrong position, but if this looks correct now in the game, or if the flag graphic is rendering, then we know that we can't use our shader with the offset, which is rather unfortunate. And no, I don't think that's what's happening here. There's some just weird thing going on. Oh, what's causing this? Oh, our sprites need to be centered. That's why. Okay, that'll fix it. All right, fine. We'll just reposition it through code. That's easy enough. So now the flags look correct. Yeah, they're just in the wrong spot. And there's that tiny little chunk of shadow that's still there. That, you know why that's happening? Because for whatever reason, the shadow is darker in that one spot. So we need to go into the map flag graphic and edit that. We could also increase the transparency threshold, but I just assume this is a problem. Yeah, you see those 3 pixels? All right, how do we fix this? Not like that. Wait, what? You can't select? Huh, weird. I set the threshold to 0 too. Select by composite? Select by alpha. Oh, I see. There we go. All right, so I want that one, that, and that. And we're gonna cut and paste and then lower the opacity until it matches the others. Looks like it did a pretty good job already. Can you even tell there's a difference? I guess slightly. Lighten that a little bit. Now it looks pretty much the same. Okay, cool. Anchor it back down and save. All right, so that'll fix that problem with the random outline showing up. Now we need to fix the problem with this showing in the wrong location. What if we set this to 50? I don't think this is going to work. Yeah, I'm nearly positive it won't work. Yeah, no, it doesn't. Okay, whatever. That's fine. All right, so then we move this through code. We need to know, how do we do this? Why is it tiling? It's tiling because of how our shader works. There's a lot of complexity here. We're using many textures from an atlas, essentially, and Godot does something a little weird with passing in the region to the shader. So in order to get everything to look correct, we just have a very specific setup here. Where oh, we don't have a script for this. Oh man. Yeah, fine. We got to make a script for this. Attach script. All right, where should this go? Source. Instances. We don't really have anything for this, right? No, yeah, I don't think we do. It's probably just in scene scripts. Is that where instance map is? Instance prep. Okay, we can put it in there. Source, scene, script, instance prep, map flag. Yeah, there we go. And this technically inherits from something totally different. I'll just type it in code. Inherits from cropped crop? What is it? What is this called? Texture crop animated sprite. All right, the only thing this needs to do is... Oh, this won't work. I was going to set the position in here, but we actually can't do that. Anytime the position of this changes, I wanted to get updated based on where the bottom of the flagpole actually is. All right, let's get rid of this then. Let's just comment this out. I'll do it this way. All right, ignore the rest of that for now. Set this back to whatever it was there. And then just in the instance map code, just set the position a little bit off. All right, so plus map flag dot size dot rectangle. How do you get the boundaries of this? Map flag's an animated sprite. Probably from the sprite frames then, or the texture. Sprite frames get texture 0 get size divided by 2. I think this is going to move it in the wrong direction. Parameter index string name. Ugh. Default. This is so stupid. Hey, who cares? Good afternoon. Or as we say in my time zone, good morning. Yeah, so the problem is I added the y value as well. I need to multiply this by vector new vector 2 1 -1. And even this is only going to be kind of correct. It's still going to be off by a few pixels. It might look good enough. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's off by like the width of the flagpole. And if we open up all of these things, yeah, so we want it to be moved just slightly. I'm just going to hard code a number in here. I don't think this is worth doing this way. We'll just say plus new vector 2, and we'll just figure out what the position should be. And it should be whatever I had the offset set to. Where is the offset? There it is, -666. That can't possibly be right. No, because we need to take into account half of the size of the tile. Oh my God. 66, why was that there though? We didn't have this centered, right? No, it wasn't centered. Okay, well, the -6 I think is correct. The 66 I don't know about. Oh, I already have that open. 280 by 70. Not doing that. It's positioned at that. No, maybe it is correct then. Huh. Yeah, let's try it. But magic numbers. Yeah. The way you do this properly. Okay, I messed that up. What is this anchored by? Oh, it's centered. Oh, right. Of course. Oh my God. I keep reading that. All right. So this is plus 35. And this is, what is it? 40? 280 divided by 470. Yeah. So also plus 35. Okay. All right. Let's try that. Yeah, the proper way to do this would be to manifest a node inside the scene. And yeah, that looks good. And then fetch the location of that node, which, you know what? If Matt's going to complain, then that's what we're going to do, huh? Actually, it can be 1 pixel lower. No, actually, we're not going to do that. I'm not going to spend the time. So 1 pixel lower would be adding 1. Okay, perfect. That's exactly where I want that to be. All right, well, it needs to have a greater thickness, I guess. Set the line width to 2. And then just rebuild this thing. That way when you're zoomed out, you can still see this. So the question here is, if we got rid of this red circle, would it be obvious that this is selected just from outlining this? I mean, we have an outline drawing on all of them, but if you imagine it only being on one of them, is it obvious that that one's the one that's selected? And I think the way we can make it a little bit more apparent is by altering the line color over time. So now it'll modify from green to white. I'm not sure if that makes it more obvious or less obvious. But we can customize those colors. What about white border around the red circle? Well, the problem is the red circle is not an in-world thing, right? Like this little stone thing is in-world. The flag is in-world. The red circle is just a red circle. And I want there to be a different indicator that you have something selected. We could make the red circle, I don't know, better in some way. Green blends in too well. Yeah, we need to make it like white to yellow or something and then hope that there's no yellow. How about a yellow outline of the flag? Yeah, we could try that out. So turn this off, change the line color to yellow. Also, welcome in, Sir Tim. But you made a green circle. Well, the point is I'm trying to remove the circles. Okay, let's try getting rid of that. This modulate also updates, it also creates this. So we just turn off the modulate here. In fact, then we just never need the points at all, right? What do we give map marker for? We'll just not modify the modulate, I guess. In which case this function would need to be renamed. To do if this isn't, oh no, it can't do that. What am I talking about? No, this is always going to do something. It's going to get the point. Instead of modifying the modulate, it's going to modify the shader. Oh god. No, but it's not the shader on the point. It's the shader on the flag. Yeah, so map flag. Sure, get that. And then get its shader. We have an outline holder. I guess we go add that in. And then fetch this from inside this script, which we now need to attach again. We're getting there. We are getting there. Yeah. So now we got to go find mapflag.cs. Have this inherit from this. Put this inside a namespace. Game source scene scripts instance prep. Use this thing. Fetch an outline holder. Yeah, nice. That's pretty much what I want. Okay, then we want to make this public, I guess. I guess there'd just be a show outline or like public void set outline is showing. Bool is showing. Yeah, and then isn't there a way to do that through here? Set outline visible. Might as well just call it that. Could also just make this thing public. Doesn't really matter if the parent class manages it or not. We don't need fully proper encapsulation for that. All right, so now we have that. Let's go do that. Set outline visible is going to be set to whether this is the selected instance. And that should do it. Let's try that out. There's something I'm missing here. Oh yeah, it's the magic numbers. This should be fixed to do, put this into mapflag.cs. Also, I guess technically we're getting map flags now, right? Yeah. Yeah. And make a function for fetching that. Okay, so what's the problem here? This doesn't exist. That's the problem. Well, we always had points. We didn't always have map flags. So I guess we put this here. Oh, we need to modify every other flag to not be visible. No, even this won't work. This isn't what outlines them. It's when you select something. Select instance. Where does that come from? Set selected instance ID. Here it is. All right, we're gonna change this. We're gonna change everything. Okay, so we want to deselect every single flag we have for each map flag in map flags dot get children. You can't do this, but you can do this. And we don't need this anymore. There. That should do it. Let's try that out. All right, so that's broken now because we didn't call into the parent ready function. That was a very minor mistake. Hooray! Except for these points being there. But now when you select a new flag, it should only select one of them. It's not happening. Did we not make the shader unique? We did. So does it think that every one of these is selected then? What did I mess up there? Go through each map flag that we have. Set the outline is visible to whether the selected instance ID is that instance ID. So this is what we're doing wrong. We need to get the flag's instance ID, which we don't have from this. How do we get that? I guess we could just go through all of the unlocked instance IDs instead. This is kind of weird. Instance ID in unlocked instance IDs. Even this probably won't work though, because we need to do this even for the... Okay, I'm gonna do something kind of stupid. Here's what we're gonna do. Flag instance ID equals... Is there like a from? There's a parse. Does that actually exist? No. Cannot be inferred from usage. Try specifying the type explicitly. Oh, because we need the... I'll just look this up. C# parse from string. We need the type of the thing in there. Instance ID, like that. And then cast it. There's got to be a better way of doing this. Schrodinger's, thanks for the resub. Happy 9 months. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, do we ever do this? Here it is. Type of. Got it. All right. Now this needs to be done here. And then this needs to be done from the map flag. Like I said, I know this is hacky. We could just store this inside the flag itself. So that's probably what we're going to do. Yeah. Doesn't contain a definition for replace. Was it replace all? All right. I'm gonna just do this. Let's just initialize this thing with the instance ID. Public void init instance ID. All right, let's add that in. Good. And good. And now just initialize this thing. Property name is confusing given the existence of a method get instance ID. Oh, yeah. Interesting, because we've had this happen somewhere else. I might have just... I might have just disabled this. How's it going, big doggy? Okay, let's go back to instance map now, and where we create the map flag that we instantiated, we'll just do that. Map flag dot instance init with the instance ID. Now we don't need the parse that we have. This can just be pulled from the map flag. And then we don't need any of that. Okay, let's try that out. What's going on right now? Oh, my keyboard just shifted up on my desk. All right, look at that. It's working. So yeah, now it's only selecting one of these. It's not the right color for some reason. Line color, is that just never used? Line color is there. Outline color is passed in a draw outline. That's here. This is set to the line color unless alter line over time is set. That's weird. Did I not save this? Save. Why isn't it using yellow? Oh, God, I know why. This is so stupid. The set outline visible sets the color of the line to be white. So stupid. So stupid. This should use whatever it was initialized with. You know what I'm going to do? I'm probably just going to make a set outline color. And just set this to a color. And then this can call set outline color based on whether or not this is visible. This is really set to white. It's really stupid. All right, map flag. Now instead of doing this, instead of doing set outline visible, it's just going to set the color. So is showing colors dot. I want this to be like toxic yellow. And unfortunately, I don't know what the color for toxic yellow is. I'm pretty sure toxic yellow is not a color. All right, what's the most yellow color? Yeah, yellow. Yellow is the most yellow color. Who would have thought? Oh, this isn't a Godot color, is it? Maybe it is. All right, so it is showing colors at yellow, otherwise transparent. There we go. Yeah, well, a lot of stuff I'm doing is just to get this working for right now. I didn't want to be spending this long on PRs. Hey, Oakley. All right, do we have yellow? Yes, we have yellow. We've coded yellow. We now have yellow in the game. I actually don't think it stands out that much. I think based on the camera zoom, you want this thing to be highlighted even more. And I think it's going to look a little silly if we up this to 3. 3 pixels of outline is maybe too much. I mean, we probably will ship this. The thing is, the coding sins I've committed here are very minor in terms of coding sins. We've got some hard-coded stuff inside of a file right now that I'm about to probably move to it being the proper way. I initialize this with an instance ID. I mean, we could probably encapsulate that in another object. I actually think this looks pretty good. I just don't think yellow is the most visible. And I wonder if it should alternate between yellow and white. I could increase the line width when we zoom out. I'm just not sure I want to do that. But we probably do. I think it'd be a nice polished thing at least. The other thing I wonder about is should we just render these points as like semi-transparent points? Map point. What did I call it? Map marker. Okay, yeah. What if we just change? Oh, this is a texture. Okay, well, fine. We can change the modulate to be about half. Although then it looks kind of gray. I wonder if that's going to look good in the game. Let's run that. That looks stupid. Okay, what if we just deleted it completely? Like the map marker has a script, doesn't it? Yeah, but it doesn't need anything that renders. Do we just delete that? Changing from gray to red. I think the yellow outline looks good. Yeah, I like the outline. I think there's some polish we can apply to it. Let's see how this looks. So now there are no points. The clickable area is still the same. And if we unlock all of these things, oh no, there's no clickable area anymore. we needed that to exist because this is what has the click handler, I'm guessing. Clicked it on GUI input. On GUI input is only when this thing has a size. Excuse me. Yeah, so this is technically the clickable area. We just hide this. I think hiding it is gonna make it so that you still can't click it. Select a flag changing color. Yeah, I think an arrow would be good. Yeah, this isn't gonna work. Okay, I'm gonna do this in the dumb way for now. We're just gonna make this be fully transparent. The other way we could do this is just make a control that has a size, which is the next thing we're gonna do. I am gonna clean up this code. It's not like we're just leaving this all in a bad way. Yeah, this looks pretty good. How is the cursor changing when you hover over this? I think we did something with tooltips for that to work. Must have. Oh yeah, this is looking pretty good. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. The circle is transparent and still exists. Yes, that's correct. Let's build a fishing pond now so that we can click this node. Can we go there, by the way? Yeah, that all works. Yeah, I think I'm going to leave, as far as for right now, what you see, I'm going to leave it that way. The code, I'm going to clean up a little bit. We could also eventually highlight the base here. But yeah, for now, I think this is good enough. I think the question is, will this be clear for new players? So let's, well, I'm going to eventually do some user research. In fact, I wonder if I should do it at the end of this week. Maybe a busy week. All right, so we just got to clean up the code. Let's go do that. All right, this stuff is fine. This is weird. We shouldn't do that. So map marker, can we just give this a size? We need it to be exactly this size though. Custom minimum size. All right, how big is this? How do you see the size of this thing? 60 by 60. Okay, so I want this thing to be 60 by 60. And then I want it to be centered. So if I just click center here, will that work? No, not like that. I think we just set this to -30, -30. Yeah, so that should be the exact same size as this. Yes, it is. So now we can just delete this. And now map markers should just work. They don't work at all. Possibly that's because this is set to ignore mouse input. It's not. Does a control not have GUI input by default? It should. I'm not sure. We never refer to the circle in here though, right? No, we don't. So there's just GUI input going on. Why would that fail? I think controls don't actually have a size. I think that's why it's failing. Like I think the proper way we would do this is by adding in like an area 2D or something. Or add in, yeah, some transparent thing here, which I don't think is a good idea. Is there anything that's kind of close to it? No, I'll just keep that circle there then. Okay, fine. Yeah, we could make a panel. It's going to be weird either way, I think. It's not those kind of PRs, banana but high. All right, is this broken now? Maybe only the selected flag has animation. Oh, that's another idea that we could potentially do. Just pause the flags. We might want to try that. Yeah. Okay, this is looking good. Actually, I'm not sure. I think it would look a little strange if only one of them was animated. Yeah. Because if there's wind affecting this flag, it should probably affect all of them. We could try it. And it should be very easy for us to try it. Let's just go to instance map, and wherever I do this, just do map flag dot stop. And if selected, then play. Yeah. Portable records. Portable personal records, PPR. Okay, so now they're all stopped other than the one that you've clicked. Is that better or worse? I think I don't like it. Yeah, I know it's a little bit hard to see, but like if I click this, this one's gonna stop and this one will get animated. Yeah, I don't think I'm not feeling that. Being logical. I like it. What, you guys like it? It's a bit busy with all of them. Okay. I think it's just less obvious what you can click without them catching your eye. Because like maybe we just need to make the flags bigger. Yeah, maybe that's a solution. If they fell down, but I don't really like it. Maybe change animation speeds. Isn't there a time, what's it called? Maybe it's in sprite frames. Animation speed, yeah. Yeah, we could set the speed. Oh wait, there's a scale though, isn't there? Hang on, what is this thing called? There's some like speed scale. There it is, set speed scale. Oh, it's just speed scale, I see. Speed scale. All right, so how about this? When it's selected, would it go faster if it's selected or slower? Let's do 1, otherwise like 0.5. Not sure if that's going to look any better. All right, so now you see this waving very slowly. And it's kind of nice. Except for that now I guess it looks weird that these are going slowly. I don't know. I don't really I'm not gonna do anything here. Yeah, let's just leave it how it is. I don't want to spend too long on just this sort of thing. All right, what else do we have as far as code goes? Yeah, this needs to be fixed. And then this needs to be renamed. Rename this. All right, so just those two to-do items and everything else is looking good? Yeah, looks like it. Okay, and they're both in instance map. So we'll just find the to-do items and fix them. This is in get map marker position. So how about we just do set position, get map marker position. This is probably going to complain at me. Oh, there already is a set position. Well, that's definitely going to complain at me. What would we call this? We could override. Oh, it's not even overrideable. We just need a different name then. Set flag position. Kind of stupid as far as names go. But it is a flag. The only thing you can do is set the flag position. But unfortunately, I think the position property is not virtual. Position equals position plus this. And we should delete these magic numbers. The way we would do that is a little bit annoying because we have this map flag, but we need to turn off the shader so that we can see where we're positioning this thing. And then we add in a node that's just, oh, it's got to be a node 2D that we just use for positioning, which is considered the base of the flagpole, which is right there. Negative 2930, that can't be right. Oh, it is right. Well, well, well. Yeah, so now we copy this, then revert the entire scene. open it up, paste it back in, and this becomes our, what do we call this? Flagpole base position. No, that's a node. Okay, so that's flagpole base. Let's go save that off. Node 2D flagpole base. Save that here. And then add that thing's position in. So this is 2930 or 29 negative 30. So we need those numbers to match exactly 29 negative 30. So let's just subtract that, I guess. Yeah, let's try that out. It should look exactly the same as it just looked. Yeah, nice. Now we just don't have magic numbers. Okay, cool. And then there's one more to-do item that we had to fix, which is, there we go. Well, I gotta first write a comment for this. Sets the position taking the flagpole's base into account. The reason this is needed instead of just using an offset is because our outline shader currently only works with centered sprites that don't have offsets. So if we fix that, we could do something about this. And then back over to here, we fix the other to-do item, we rename this. So this is now no longer modulating anything. It's just potentially creating a route to the point where I'm not sure we need this to be everywhere. Right, we could even just rename this to something like create route if unlocked, and then delete this stuff. But at that point, why not just have it be in create route, and this just checks to see if we've unlocked it or not. In fact, this is already idempotent, so we could just call this every single time. Okay. So just delete that. This is kind of weird. Unlock next location. The forest is unlocked by default. We don't even need this here, do we? And setting the town points modulate. Everything is modulated now to transparent, so we don't need that either. Oh, I broke something. Oh, I see now what the problem is. This is called on every single instance, so we can't do that. But we can stop ourselves from creating the forest one every single time and doing that. Do we do anything else with the town point? Yeah, we use it for that. Okay, that's fine. We'll try it. Hey, G-Light. Now that you probably have infinite possibilities because of Godot, are you annoyed that you worked on Botland for many years with JavaScript and not with another engine? Yeah, I was annoyed even back then. I felt like I was fighting my tooling rather than just working on game stuff. And that's kind of a sucky feeling. There are times when I fight tooling now in a different way. Times when Godot has a bug or some idiosyncrasy that I need to work around. I think there was a reason for doing what we did at the time. I'm happy with Godot, yeah. And by the way, I'm doing well. Botland coding started in 2015, and Unity existed back then, but I don't know what their support was for mobile apps and for web export, and I think that's what steered us. I think like web export was shaky or something like that, and I was just like, well, let's not deal with that then. That's my guess. And remember, I'm trying to recall 10 years ago, but I think that's what led to us not using Unity. Otherwise, we probably just would have used Unity. And now I think it's supported I think Godot might have existed back then, but just had no real, like, it wasn't on people's radar. Yeah, it like barely existed. So it was probably not worth using back then. Never seen you more driven than when you were finding the cause of that Godot bug. It's partially nostalgia for the JavaScript days. Did you see me? When did you? Hang on, let me see when you were following. Following since okay, yeah, 2024. Yeah, I was gonna say there was a bug that I encountered back in the botland days. Let me see if I can find this. This bug consumed me for an entire week. I'm trying to find it. Yeah, okay. There were 2 threads I made on Reddit about this. I was using AWS's service called Fargate, which lets you launch containers and then they manage the infrastructure for you. And the problem is, this little table sums it up basically. The performance did not. Wait, what was it? Hang on a second. Anyway, I posted another thread that like updated this. Long story short, AWS themselves had a problem, and that problem caused you to use a more powerful machine and get worse results. So you'd be paying more money and you'd be getting a worse VM out of it. And I spent a week trying to figure that out because very infrequently do you assume it's your cloud provider's problem and not just something you're doing. Because AWS is so complex that it's pretty natural to just make a mistake and be like, whoops, I messed up. Yeah, I got to fix it. But that time I didn't mess up. And they, I still remember this left such a bad taste in my mouth. They gave me credit to the tune of $400, which is not too crazy. But I remember thinking, wait a second, I'm just a person who spent a week of their time investigating this, like figuring out that there's a problem. What about all the people out there who just they just needed twice as many VMs for that week or two or month or however long this bug was there for? Like, are they going to get compensated? And the answer is no, they don't. They've pretty much got to complain about it. Like, oh, hey, I see I was affected by this bug too. And then Amazon would probably give them money. Hey, my current Twitch username. You think it's, you think of Homer Simpson? I don't think I have any other connotation with that. Yeah. Considering using the GameLift service for a project, how reasonable in terms of cost did you find AWS hosting? I expect it'll be months before I can potentially recoup any costs. So I was using, I had quite a lot of infrastructure for Botland, and by the end of it, I was paying I think $300 per month to just host like the base game. It didn't have to be that expensive. There were ways of cutting that down. But I think this is one of the problems with having like auto scalable services. In order to use, I think it was Aurora, which I'm pretty sure was their database service for scaling. It was like you either needed there to be a spin up time for when someone uses your app once every few days, or you just needed everything to always be on. Having it always be on costs more money. And like I had a bunch of different services I needed to run, and I needed to run them in different containers and have backups for them. And anyway, I haven't used GameLift, so I don't know how expensive it would be, but I would say to just kind of feel that out as much as possible before doing anything. Because any game that has ongoing costs means you typically need, like, you sort of rule out a one time monetization. That's not entirely true, and there have been games in the past, but like this is now modern game development. Like if you have ongoing costs, then cool, you have microtransactions or battle pass or DLC or something that you're paying for that's not just like, well, you bought the game. So if that cost is cheap enough that you can absorb it, then I think that's okay. But if it's something where you need scalable servers or you need just really anything that costs enough money, then yeah. This is the Godot bug I was thinking of. What is this clip? Oops, didn't mean to click that. It's not gonna play. I don't remember this from just that, although it's also playing at 2x speed. Oh, yeah. Okay, never mind. I remember now. I was wondering how I was moving the mouse. Oh, what caused that bug? I remember filing something. Oh, it was caused by calling free, and you're just not supposed to ever call free, basically. In fact, they said they might want to make it private. Hey, Trackley, the new background is just I'm feeling lazy. I've got my piano keyboard here on the right side, and I didn't feel like moving it. And behind that is the green screen. Yeah, I need to like rearrange the whole room now. Had a thought in my head for years about how UI could be generated in the browser. Real 2D, 3D engine would be a million times better. Wonder why engines like Godot have not been used as renderers for web content or replace the DOM for a long time. To replace the DOM, I think it's probably just performance. Like most sites that you load are going to be mostly text content with some images and some links. And for that, you don't really need there to like load an entire engine. I guess what I mean by performance is there's runtime performance and then there's loading performance. And loading a game engine like Godot, if you even go to this, for example, this is the prototype we made for Skeleseller. I'm going to click run right now and watch how long it takes before the page is actually usable. So now imagine that being a regular website. Like, would you want that experience? And there are ways you could cut that down or make it faster, but if all you need is text and links and images, you should just use HTML. But then yes, once it's loaded, yeah, sure, you could do things probably a million times faster, like you mentioned. Now, do you need that power? Is there some web technology you could just use anyway? Because like HTML has Canvas, and if you look at 3JS, 3JS is pretty powerful. So if we click any one of these things, I don't know, is this a game? What is this? What? I thought they were just like rendering examples here. Examples. Oh yeah, something like this. Like good luck doing this with divs and stuff and getting this kind of performance. And presumably there are controls to move. No, there's no moving the camera. But there's some stuff over here. Wow, pretty cool. It's very low level. I guess it depends on what you consider low level. Like you're not, as far as I know, specifying individual vertices. You can still load in meshes and stuff. I haven't used 3JS in a very long time. All right, what was I doing? I was testing this out, and I think we got that. Yeah, so I just need to check this in now. Yeah. Okay, so what do we do here? Outline the flags. Yeah. Note that we have, what do I say for this? Map marker now has a fully transparent. Wait a second, that means that texture exists in our code even though it doesn't need to? This is dot.png. We don't need dot.png anymore. Yeah, we should delete that. But we do need this thing to have a minimum size of 60 by 60. So if I set this to 60 by 60, the rectangle doesn't change. And then I go delete dot.png. I guess we delete this. Dependencies. Shouldn't be a dependency anymore. Yeah, nice. Okay, game should still work. So it's not a transparent, I mean, I guess it is transparent, but it's not a texture, and you should still be able to click these things. Yeah, nice. Wow, fantastic. Okay. Now has a fully transparent texture rect just to allow for clicking the map node. Okay. Cool. Let's push and then merge. We'll look through this one more time. I just made a whole bunch of changes. All right, so how many files do we have modified? 38 now. But why did it increase so much? Oh, because I modified a bunch of code files. Yeah. Okay. Shouldn't the import file for dot have gone away? Did I not delete that correctly? Is there no input file for that? Dot import. No. What? Oh, there it is. It thinks it got renamed to path7 import. Weird. Yeah. I mean, of course, it looks pretty much the same, but that's how all import files look. All right. Yeah, let's check this in. Yeah, so this is one of the things that's been a little bit tough. And this is not a reflection on Quickie Joe. Quickie Joe is the artist for the game and has some coding ability and tested this out by modifying the code in the way that made sense to him. And that's fine. I think he needs a way of being able to change things in the game so he can see these paths, make sure they line up and everything. But then there is the coding pass that we need to take on this. And that's what all of these commits ended up being. I don't think there's a way around this. Yeah. The new map looks fantastic. I made some changes to put the code into a state that is closer to the rest of the code base. I have some questions here. Probably send these over Discord. Yeah, I'll send those over Discord. Okay. We'll just put this here. Oh yeah, and then .NET format. I didn't do that yet. Yeah, we gotta do that really fast. Should probably run that UID tool as well. By the way, tomorrow we should be back to normal as far as, or not tomorrow, Wednesday should be back to normal as far as camera goes. Maybe even this afternoon. I might move the piano out of the room before the next stream. I just really didn't feel like setting up a green screen today. No issues. Okay, cool. I mean, there's only one modified code file originally. All right, so that's done, and we've already pushed this over here, and we will go squash and merge. And now it is complete. We have the new map. Okay, that leaves us with 3 more PRs we need to look through. But I have been going with no break for quite a long time now. It's been 3.5 hours. How large are these PRs? That one's medium size. The first one's small. And this one should be small. Only adds a scene. Yeah, this should be small too. Okay, so then this, I'm just going to write should be small, should be small, should be medium. Medium. Hey, Tillis. Must hurt to have your hands stretched so far from your camera. Yeah, I'm fantastic foring them all the way underneath. Okay, so here's what this afternoon's going to look like then. I'm going to get lunch. I don't even know what food we have in the house, so I got to figure that out. M2, thanks for the resub. Happy half year. Yeah, it's what time? 12:15. Yeah, so lunch, then we're going to finish up the PRs, then we're going to go to probably automating the enchanter. I think this will be fun, and I hope we have enough time for this. It's going to be cutting it a little close. Is that what I had written here? Enter perks. Yeah, go back to my branch for that. Yeah, okay, that's the plan. Well, I hope you've all had a good time in the stream. If you liked what you saw of Skeleseller in that time, please do consider wishlisting it. We now have this amazing looking battle map, which I'm so happy about. And yeah, you can send characters to do battle. They should be going to the forest. Yep. And they'll get their items, which now don't pop out of the portal unless there's no room. And they bring this here and they're already leaving. They're mad I didn't give them their potion. Yeah. Well, things are looking good. All right, I will be back in about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Hope you've all had fun. I hope you have a good rest of your day. And I hope to see you in the afternoon. Catch you later.